In memory of Owens Cooper. France Hensley in memory of wife Rachel, which is my mother. $100 Chris and Karen Gentry. $100 cash in memory of Dan and Shirley Chester. Dan and Gloria Oakley in honor of the grandchildren. George and Sally Doss in honor of our healthy grandchildren. Judy Hall and Kimberly Morgan in memory of Carr Hall, who was a 50-year member of the Charlestown Fire Department, $100. Christian Grayson, Reagan Grayson, and Kimberly Settenbins in memory of Larry Roseberry. $200, Bradley and Tiffany O'Leary in memory of Ed Shane and Bonnie Armstrong and in honor of their daughter Emma. Teresa O'Leary and Mary Shane in memory of Ed Shane and David Boney Armstrong. $250 is Level 2 Electric in honor of Alyssa, Aiden, Lachlan, Shayla, and Myra. Roger McVicker in memory of father-in-law Bill Cheeseman. $300 is Roger McVicker in memory of his mom, Alyssa Pearl McVicker. A couple more pages here.
That's okay. Keep them coming. This is great.
$25 donation, Meineke Car Center. King-size storage, Blazing Star Lodge 226. $50 to $75 donations is Sunshine Chiropractic, Ray's Lawn and Garden, GNR Auto Sales, Superior Vault Company, Lotus Sign, Southern Indiana Linex, Cooper's Corner, Schindler's Tax Service, Pat's Pizza King, Grayson Funeral Home. $100 to $150 donations is Charlestown Veterinary, Dr. Smith Dentistry, Fit Fellows LLC Anytime Fitness.
She likes that one, huh?
American Legion Post 335 in memory of Bill Cheeseman, State Farm Insurance, Park Street Auto Body, Davis & Coy Insurance, James Construction, Abbott & Abbott Incorporated, Abbott Farm Products LLC, Allen's Transmission, The Concrete Lady, John Hill Painting, and Doug's Auto Sales. Continue $150 donations is McCoy's Nursery, The Big G Supply, Extreme Trailer Service LLC, Fields Custom Cabinets, Weatherall, Specialty Manufacturing, Tees and Tangles Salon, Seaway Tool Company, J. Rohrer Company, and Sigma. Our $200 to $500 donations is DEP Services Incorporated, Webb's Body Shop, Nibco, Harpering Steel, Abbott's Equipment Repair, Mitchell Plastics, Cooper Drugs, IMI Cement Company, New Washington State Bank, Illini Precast. Then we have B&O Liquors, $200, Roger Adams, $200. We have Level 2, it's $250 in honor of Alyssa, Aiden, Lachlan, Shayla, and Mara. Bill Broughton Trucking, $100. North Charlestown Church of God, $157.73. Charlestown Anglers, $100. Justin and Carly Hampton in honor of Allie and Abby, $50. Charleston Far Ladies Auxiliary, $200. Faith World Church, $100. Stony Point Christian Church in memory of Francis Sink, $1,252. Almost done. In memory of Steve Davenport, served the fire department for 49 years and had a great love for the Crusade for Children, from his wife Sharon, $500. In memory of all deceased brother firefighters, $100 from Tony Davenport. John and Kelly Hill in memory of Joanne Zollman, $100. Knights of Columbus of Charlestown, $500. St. Michael's Catholic Church, $563.35. In memory of Richard and Bill Looney, all of our Vietnam veterans, E.J. Rash and Nancy Rash, $100. And our grand total is...
Grand total, okay, guys.
We have a 20% increase from last year.
Amazing.
We have $56,040.02.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Can you say that for us one more time?
$56,040.02.
Incredible. All right, my helpers, you've been waiting patiently. Let's go. Pour that money. Good job. Oh, we got a couple more. You doing more? Okay. Oh, it's really heavy. You got it? All right. Awesome job. Thank you so much, Charlestown Fire. We will send it back over to Kayla Moody.
All right, Sarah, thank you. And first off, we want to read a pledge that just came in through the phone from the Borden Wood Township Volunteer Fire Department, our friends up in Borden, Indiana. They are pledging $4,197.58. Again, that is from the Borden Wood Township Volunteer Fire Department. Thank you so much for your generosity. And now let me introduce you to our friends over here. We have quite the group from Shepherdsville Fire Department, and joining me right now is Assistant Chief Craig Hampton. Thank you so much for joining us, and tell me a little bit about this group you have here. You got some pretty animated kiddos down here.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah, we have a few of our kids that are members, children that help us collect. They really bring in the money, a lot better than us going door to door, send the kids. So yeah.
All right, well, first of all, come here, young man. Real quick. Now this guy, he has a future in television. Come here real quick. Come here. I won't bite. Not hard at least. Oh, he's like, I don't know about this. Come here. This little one, he's shy now. The funny thing is, he's been standing here while Sarah was with her group and going around saying shh, 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 shh to everyone. Can you do that for me? Shh, shh, shh. He says, I don't know. You outed me on live television. I don't want to talk to me either right now. Oh my goodness. But no, you have a great group. You guys have been a lot of fun. Well, you have a lot to get through, so.
So first I'd like to start off with thanking that all of our local businesses for any money donations and generous food donations that kept us fed over the entire week, for all of our members. Also like to thank our Boy Scouts, which we have a few of them here with us, Troop 868. They come out every year and help us go door to door and make all of our collections to try to get all those done in a timely manner. Thank all the citizens for the generous donations throughout the roadblocks. Sorry that we caused a little confusion in traffic. And I also like to thank all of our members that helped day and night to make this a successful Crusade Week. So I'm going to start off with just local business donations. $25 from Disabled American Veterans, $100 donation from Mason Cabinets, $100 from Bullitt County Gravel Club, $100 from the KOA, $100 from Huff Used Cars, $150 from Country Inn Suites, $300 from Bullitt County Septic, $200 from Thompson and Psalm Realty and Auction, $300 from Mount Zion Baptist Church, $500 from 44 Auto Mart, $500 from Speyside Cooperage, and $1,000 from Hardy Close Funeral Home. And then I've got a few in memory of that I'll run down through here. $100 in memory of Don Whitaker from Terry, Lee, Abby, Alex, and Madison Whitaker. $100 in memory of Wade Garthner from Mary Lou Garthner. $100 in memory of my brother Eric Hampton from Craig and Jamie Hampton. $100 in memory of son Roger Dale Bruce from Shirley Bruce. $50 in memory of Joshua Yoakum from Everett and Lou Hale. $50 in memory of Margaret Ann Foster from James and Patricia Yoakum. $35 in memory of Don Snodgrass from Clifford and Rose Haley. $20 in memory of Roy and Della Coomer from Dorothy Kugel. $20 in memory of George and Wanda Wathen. $17 in memory of Fred Wade from Jason Wade. And $5 in memory of Shara Cox. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced anybody's name throughout all the in memory of.
Hey, you don't have to apologize to me, because I can tell you that's a hard job. It's easier said than done.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we're a little down from last year for our grand total. Our grand total this year is $25,060.89.
All right. All right, and it looks like, are you the designated money pourer? I don't think you're shy on television, are you? Nope, she's like, I'm not. All right, thank you so much. Again, Shepherdsville Fire Department, thank you for your generosity and for coming in year after year. We so appreciate it. And all right, for now, we're going to head back over to Sarah Wagner.
Right, thank you so much, Kayla. Before we get with our guys here from Harrods Creek, we have a donation and a $200 donation in loving memory of a 20-year Crusade volunteer, Brittany Lee Bowling West. It was a family affair. Brittany started volunteering as a kid after watching her parents, Marilyn and Michael Greenwell. The volunteering now continues with her 14-year-old son, Ethan, and soon the tradition will be carried on by her 22-month-old, Keaton. And this is from her grandmother, Patsy Greenwell. So thank you guys so much for those. Such a great gift and such a good way to honor somebody. So Dell and Kyle from Harrods Creek, thank you guys so much for being here. How you doing?
Doing good.
All right.
Out of the sun, so we're doing good.
There we go. I know, a beautiful day, but a little hot out there. So, no, you've been working hard. Got some people to thank.
Got some people to do. We have a donation in memory of Rick Wilson by Benita Wilson, in memory of Joe Johnson, Mary Jensen, Glenn Vogeldes, and Stephen Schuster by Mary Lee and Leonard Height, in memory of Stephen Schuster by Susan Scott, and then Robert and Patrick Dolak in honor of their healthy grandchildren. So it's kind of good to have some healthy grandchildren.
Absolutely, we love to hear that.
We'd like to thank the people of Harrods Creek area. And that Friday we had two accidents on 42, and it wasn't our fault, but it kind of backed traffic up, and we had some people got upset, but that's okay. They still gave money. So we'd like to thank the following restaurants for donating the food to keep us moving: Captain's Quarters Restaurant, Papa John's Pizza of Prospect, Los Aztecs Mexican Restaurant of Prospect, and my homemade ice cream and pie kitchen of Prospect. So, because we know they have different locations.
Absolutely. Good getting those on there for us.
Yes.
Very good. So a good, successful year overall for you guys.
Yes, it was. You ready for the total?
I think so. You ready, Kyle, for this grand total? Okay.
$9,390.72.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Great job. Read that for us one more time. I like to hear it twice.
$9,390.72.
That is amazing, guys. Thank you so much for everything you do. The team from Harrods Creek Fire District. We are going to send it back out to Robert Bradfield in Corridon.
I'm Robert Bradfield here with an all-volunteer fire department. This is the Elizabeth Volunteer Fire Department here with the WHAS Crusade for Children. Your name for me, sir?
Scott Hutt.
Scott Hutt. And I'm just going to go down the line of these children. What's your name?
Caitlin Hutt.
Caitlin.
Mason.
Mason.
Lennox. Jaden. Kinsey. London. Isabella. Zoe.
Very good. All right. Thank you. And these are all the big kids in the back here with the Volunteer Fire Department. How are the donations this year?
We were up. We are up. I have several. I'm going to do the in memories of first.
Sure.
All right, these are all in memories of Logan Wilson, Philip and Kelly Bledsoe, $100. Lawrence Lee Baker, from Brian and Denise McKnight, $100. Jim Jameson, Marianne, Amy, and Jimmy Jameson, $100. Marvin Neal, from the Neal family, $40. Jim Jameson, from Jimmy Jameson, $100. Connie Sue Jackson Farrington, from Gregory and Lisa James, $50. Jackie Carter, from Susie Carter, $25. Logan Wilson, from Ronnie and Patty Ashley, $100. Frank and Josephine Canapple, from Joyce Canapple, $30. Gary Bodenstadt, from Veronica, Gary, and Vicky Bodenstadt, $50. Wanda and Jerry Beams, Wesley and Tony Slintz, from Troy Beams, $100. Chris Fugate, from Brian Fugate, $20. Brian Brown, from Robert and Denise Hubert, $30. Brian Brown, from Doug and Mary Miller, $25. Jimmy Gibson, from Luke and Jamie McKnight, $20. Lindsay Shane, Logan Wilson, from Cheryl, Russell, and Isabella Shane, $100. In loving memory of John Herman Eve Sr., our great-grandfather, from Sarah Eve and Jonathan Eve, $50. I got a letter here we got to read. In memory of our daughter, Shawnette Smith Cassidy, who died of a brain tumor in 1990. It's now almost 27 years since you have left us. Doesn't seem that long, but in our hearts, it seems such a short time. You will never be forgotten. Our beautiful daughter, also 1.5-year-old granddaughter, Liberty Renee Martin. We miss you both every day. And my dad, Augie Hauser, all passed away with cancer. We will always love you. Linda and Steve Smith. And that was for $30. All right, well, Wilson's General Store, the collection jar is $1,017.
Thank you to them as well.
And we want to do a special thanks to Artie, who comes out Memorial Day and does a cookout, and all the donations go to the Crusade for Children. So special thanks to Artie's Logging, Alan and Lisa, Heather Jacoby, Russ Williams, Jetta, Justin, Kaylin, and Callie Lil Pop, Sherry, Dale, and Randy Hubert, Steve Wilfong. And we had some food donations while we were collecting for Crusade. So Tom and Penny Stupinski brought some down some desserts, cookies. Sheila Vaught, she brought down some cakes also, and White Castles here in Corden. All right, these are all $20 donations. Stephen Phillips and Martine Canapple, $25 donations. Sheila Hope, Donna Bailey Baird, Charles and Sue Herthel, Fred and Monica Atwood, Francis Buchanan, Robert and Carolyn Hedden, Sam and Janice Heck, Addie's Kitchen, Julia Martin, Paul Luther, Joan and Michael Abbott, Elizabeth Farm Supply, and John Reeves. $35 donation is Ralph and Helen Hornicle. $40 donation, Roger and Connie Shane. $50 donations, Ernest and Mary Leiter, Richard and Angela Stewart, W.S. and Dorothy Stem, Stephen K. Hutt, Jervis and Donna Gans, Stephanie Free, Leroy and Barbara Borgelt, Gary and Nancy DeWitt, Ralph and Sarah Eisen, James and Vicky Joe Neville, Janet and Larry Kaiser, John and Marla Miller, Beth and Bruce Free, Donna and Frederica Dones, Chad and Leslie Simpson. $100 donations are Blackman Construction, William and Mary Dial, Roger and Mary Brown, Walter and Juanita Miller, William and Bill and Melanie Wibbles, from the Faith Fellowship Church, Cheryl Yelch, James and Cynthia Bratcher. We had an anonymous $100 donation, Donna and Helen Koch. $125 donations, Roger Glaze and Claudia Bringman, Dennis and Janet Thomas. $150 donation is Best Vineyards, Chester Budd. $200 donations is Dominic Drayage of Louisville, another anonymous. DePaul United Methodist, Bradley Withers. $400 donation is Paul Luther Jr. $500 donation, Wilson's General Store and the Elizabeth Lions Club. $600 donation is Son of the American Legion, Tom and Donna Withers. $4,000 donation is Greg and Beverly Jones. And the final one, the American Legion Post 379, $7,000.
$7,000.
Yes.
And the grand total there is?
The grand total is $26,210.42.
$26,210.42. Say that one more time.
$26,210.42.
The fire truck is happy too.
Oh yeah, so we all are. We're up $3,004 from last year.
I do want to ask you, one agency here earlier was talking about the need of volunteer firefighters. How are you all doing on that end?
We are also struggling a little bit, but you know, we got our guys that make the runs, and we're getting better, and more people is more active, so we're there. I mean, you know, we're not struggling.
But you're hopeful, obviously, that some other volunteers step up.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Very good. Well, who wants to load some change into the, all right, let's do it. Very good. High five. Thank you, everybody. And again, thank you to the Elizabeth Volunteer Fire Department. Of course, your donations greatly needed and appreciated here for Crusade. And you can continue to make those donations by calling toll-free 1-866-885-1848. You can also donate online at WHAScrusade.org. Or if you want to mail in those donations, you can do that as well at 520 West Chestnut. That's Louisville, Kentucky 40202. Or you can watch online at WHAS11.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And then, of course, download the Crusade app from your app store. And we do want to, again, say thank you for changing a child's life. Again, we are here in the Walmart parking lot here in Corydon. And again, for everybody here at the Elizabeth Volunteer Fire Department, we do thank you for your donations. Back to you.
Robert, thank you. We want to pause real quick to remember a special person. This was a donation that was given to us from Charles and Judith Wachowski. They said this donation is in memory of John Locke, who died on May 24th in Mount Sterling in a motorcycle accident on I-64 on his way to Washington, D.C. to observe the 30th anniversary of an awareness event to remember the unaccounted missing servicemen and women from the past wars our country has fought in. Please remember his family and his injured wife recovering in rehab. And again, that is a $100 donation in memory of John Locke from Charles and Judith Wachowski. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate people honoring others and using the Crusade for that. Right. And Kayla's been here 3 years. I'm at 32 years. Now let me do my arithmetic, Bob Pilkington. Bob Pilkington is the only guy who's been at every cruise. He's telling me to shut up already.
One.
Every single of the 64 Crusades for children.
Right.
Bob Pilkington. My 32 is tiny next to his 64 Crusades.
You see what happens? You see what happens? I won't be able to think of a thing.
We put you on the spot.
Yes, you did.
What are we going to have you doing today, Bob?
Shuffle off the buffalo? I'll be doing a little dance in the control room.
He's directing. That means he'll be in people's ears and hollering and doing that sort of thing like he's done for us.
I'm not in people's ears. This man is in people's ears.
We'll hear you.
Yeah.
We hear you coming out of there.
See, and Terry asked earlier, he said, how would you feel about having this guy in your ear? And I said, I don't know, but I put up with his son every weekend, so I think I could handle you.
Yeah, sure.
Listen, we appreciate your service. 64 years, every single crusade you've made it, and I told you got 28 more to go.
No.
Yeah, you do.
I have at least one. That's all I ever look forward to is one more crusade.
We appreciate you, Bob, for everything you do for us.
Well, see, next year it'll be a nice round figure. It'll be 65.
Let's read the tote board together. How's that
All
sound?
right.
We like doing that. Right across the room there.
What does that say?
At the moment on the WHAS Crusade for Children, our total is $3,279,192.93.
All right. All right, and now let's head back over to Sarah, who's standing by in the studio. Sarah?
All right, thanks, Kayla and Terry. We are with Zone 10 Fire Department with Kevin and quite the crew here. We've got a few friends.
Yes,
My goodness, you guys travel with a wide load. Here we go. Okay, so a good success so far. Tell us how things have been going.
Things are kind of going slow this year. We some of our special events we didn't do so many of them. We're a little bit behind this year. Weather yesterday put us a little bit behind. It got a little hot for the volunteers. So, but all said and done, it was a good time.
Absolutely.
Got lots of money for the kids. So
Still working very hard, and you've got some people to thank, I'm sure.
we do. I'll start off with some thank yous, and then we'll move on to the donations and stuff. But we'd like to thank our support team for overseeing getting all of our food and our special events and everything together for us for the week and throughout the year. Of course, all of our firefighters and the families that came out to help and getting all their friends to come out and help. We couldn't do it without them. Most definitely our community. We got a great community that we cover, and we couldn't do it without our community for anything. Our money room counters, they stay busy all year round. This year we had the Zolton Middle School cheer team come out. They came out in force all week for us, and they were a good help. The North Elite All-Star teams, I think we got a couple of them here today that helped out. Cub Scout Pack 007, we got a few of them here today. PBI Bank for their money counter, makes it a whole lot easier in that money room.
Absolutely, yeah.
Highway safety for the roadway signs to keep our roadblock people safe, so give people heads up that they're up ahead. And of course, City of Hillview. City of Hillview helps us out throughout the year. we use their facilities for a lot of our events, fish fries and stuff. Our beauty pageant was there this year, and you know they do some other things throughout the year to help us out. So we got to give a good shout out to the city of Hillview. We can move on to the business donations, which Karen will take, and I'll have to grab the
Karen,
baby
we'll do a
now.
baby swap and a reader swap. There we go. Thanks, Bella. Thanks, Kevin. All right.
I'm going to start with food donations.
Okay.
And this is quite a crew to feed. A lot of meals, a lot of meals. Food donations, Agnes Slayton. We have Arby's, Liz and Rodney Maiden at Beef O'Brady's, Bob Evans, BP, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, Don Beatty with Frito-Lay, Domino's, Burlers, Fazoli's, Vernon Moody's, Five Star Food Mart, Guru Market, Hillview Diner, Jenny Key, KFC, Klosterman's, Little Caesars, McAllister's, McDonald's, Pacifumes, Pilot Truck Stop, Pizza Hut, Ponderosa, Priceless, Pauletta Keith, Mark Stump with Little Debbie's, Stooges, Walmart, Wendy's, White Castle, Tumbleweed, Subway, Mike and Barbara Savellas at Shack in the Black Barbecue. Marilyn Smith donates a lot of desserts, donuts, you name it.
I like her. She's a friend of mine.
Right. Okay, for business donations under $100, we have Performance Masonry, $20, Kentuckiana Home Entertainment, $25, Michael Robinson Construction Company, $50, Country Cabin Treasures LLC, $50, North Bullet Daycare, $100, this is $100 to $500, North Bullet Daycare, $100, Big O Tires, Accurate Automotive, $100, Conestoga Camping Club, $312.78, Hillview Assembly of God, $100, Mechanical Insulating Contracting Company Incorporated, $100, Dance Illusion raised from Bunko Benefit in memory of Allie Cundiff, $200, Harco, $100, Brian Goller LLC, $125, Hillview Diner, $156.91, All Hours Heating and Air, $200, Irving Materials Incorporated, $200, Industries Incorporated, $200, PBI Bank, $208.96, businesses $500 to $1,000, North Bullet Lions Club, $500, Little Flock Christian Academy, $638.80, Minnie's Usuffet Self Storage, $800, businesses over $1,000, Schopenhorst, Neurath and Brooks Funeral Home, $1,000, L&N Employees Giving Fund, $1,055, Light M. Wilson Foundation Incorporated, $1,200, Injury Care Chiropractic, $1,295, and Smith Freight Agency, $5,000. Now, personal donations, I'm going to do some and then Trish and
Okay, we'll share the wealth. There we go. That's fair.
Under 25, Fred and Lynn Mullins for Grandma Unknown, in memory of Clifford Burnett. We have David Carroll Nevea, David Allen III, and Jordan Volker in memory of Mamaw. And then I have another donation in memory of Officer Albert Paul Richardson Jr., Hillview police officer that died of pancreatic cancer in 2010. And then Norman Coleman.
Great Day Live wants you to win a getaway to Cincinnati, USA.
$30. Jeffrey and Emily Brown, $30. Jeffrey and Deborah Hagerman, $30. William and Bonnie Ewell, $30. Peter and Catherine Peak, $40. Robert Meredith and Lisa Cook in memory of Jean K. Meredith, $40. And Shirley Mills, $40. Now I'm going to pass the baton to Trish Orkes.
All right, thank you.
Hi. So I've got donations between $50 and $100. S. Boyle and Happy Birthday Daddy Richard Blissett. S. Boyle also for Happy Birthday Mom Barbara Blissett. Julie and John Forst. Judy Mudd. Lynette Heil and Charles Ritchie. Donald and Roberta Rock. Wanda and Robert Dimpley. Mark and Mia Nillams. Robert and Helen Starver. Jerry and Linda Mitchell. Joseph and Janet Chambers Sr. Robert and Letta Hack. Cheryl and Wesley Stafford. Charles or Penny Mosser in honor of Penny. Lisa Coy and Betty Fowler. Stephen and Jan Speaker. Jan Rose and Stephen Speaker. Denise Walls. Clint and Heather Bryant in honor of Harlow Bryant. Laura Broughton. Patricia and Ray Zuberer. Christopher and Patty Hansel. Jackie Ramsey and Renee June Walls in memory of Shirley Ann Ramsey and Lisa and Brandy Coy. Jesse or Ruth Riley in memory of their daughters Debbie, Martin, and Rhonda Riley. Randall and Fanny Neat. Michael Smith. Louise Cooley in memory of Cooley and Sutterly family. Thomas and Denise Guelda Sr. Deborah and Robert Adams. David and Sonia Bates III. Edward and Patricia Sanders Jr. made donations of $50 each in memory of Darlene Renee Sanders, Edward B. Sanders Sr., Glenna McKeehan, Douglas Allen McKeehan, Michael Ray McKeehan, and Isa McKeehan. Robert and Sharon Wernery, Ronald and Tracy Johnston, Marcia Nadu and Lisa Raymond, Joyce Kraut, Steve White in memory of Eric Robert Smith, Phyllis Varble in memory of Lawrence, Sarah, Tommy, and Teresa, Philip and Caprice Price, Teresa Leslie and Martine Leach for her granny and mom, Dotney and Jeanette Rigdon, Laverne Busey in memory of David Headley and in honor of LaDonna Headley Robinson and Dustin Headley, Terry and Daniel Willamay, Lisa and Jacob Miller, Philip and Opal Adams in memory of Barbara and Ray, David and Sonia Whittle, David and Juliana Henry, Lisa and Kenneth Bennett, Marcia and Mike Brown, Susan and Cessna Brown III, Edna Sinek in honor of Rich Sinek, Betty Larson, Carl and Melinda Daniel, Terry and Donna Stivers, Ann and Garland Clark, Michael and Angus Durr, Danny and Tracy Reed for their 3 grandchildren, Aiden Sward, Luke, and Thomas McDowell, and Thomas has autism. Joey and Peggy Smith, estate of Mary Crow and Barbara Darlene Ayers in memory of Lawrence and Mary Crow. Jerry and Wanda Clark in memory of Tanya. Joyce Carter, Mary Jane Oswald in memory of her son Trey Oswald. Barbara Accordino, Kizzy James, Zachary and Amanda Cooper, Brandon Hibbs in honor of Emmeline Hibbs, Skylar Kalin, Richard Barch, Kenneth and Teresa Talbot Jr., Frankie and Dorothy Craven in memory of Dottie Craven, Linda Smith, Ricky and Susan Bean, and Rodney and Samantha Brunner. And now I will pass it on to Cheryl.
Okay, all right, Cheryl, come on down. Thank you.
I have the 100 and above.
Okay.
Starting out with $100 donations, David Colvin, Richard and Margaret Daniel, Barbara Adams, Gloria and William Newton, Dina and William Montgomery, Dana and Lonnie Curl, Eugene and Susan Glazer, Timothy and Rebecca Rink, Michael and Mary Milliner, Karen and Andrew Howard, Carl and Linda Vance Jr., Brenda and Gerald Weber in memory of Pappy, Todd and Shauna Anderson, Dana and Lonnie Curl, Janet and Kevin McKay, James Sheppers in memory of Jerry Sheppers, Edward and Deborah Jensen III in memory of Ed and Ruth Jensen, Kevin and Janet McKay, James and Martha Rogers, Charles and Dorothy Fortner, Bridget and Paul Lococo, Donald and Jermaine Fleming, Satish and Jita Patel, Charles and Linda Jenkins, Yvonne Gibson, Carolyn and Nicholas DeShelley, Kevin and Karen Moulton in memory of our son Chris Lucas, Brad and Lynn Triplett in memory of Trey Oswald, Cynthia Crider, Rudolph and Judy Toby, Lee and Diane Murphy, Diana McDonald, Donald and Laura Barbia in memory of my dad George Barbia, Harvey and Mildred Allen in memory of Charles Kevin Allen, Chop, Wanda Thompson, Charles and Joanne Bradley, Michael Ann Gibbon, Kenneth and Judith Blair Sr. in honor of grandchildren, Dan Cook in memory of Dan Cook, Miles Clark, Douglas and Doreen Garrett, Charles and Gail Faith, Mr. and Mrs. Warren Witten, Bruce and Kathy Bischoff, Nancy Glanz, Michael and Catherine Jones, Anna Clan in memory of Tommy G. and Tommy A. Clan, Don and Alice Glenn, Gregory and Karen Pichelle, Naomi and William Bowen, Michael McDonald, Susan Hardy, Roland and Connie Reeder, John and Wanda Crumbacker, Joan and William Mattingly, Marilyn Thomas, Joyce Roberts in memory of Mark Greenwell, USN, Michael Riggle, Tracy Vitito, Robin Joe Orkes, Norman Hoogland Jr. in memory of my father, Norman Hoogland Sr., Clifton and Connie Hubbard, Barbara and William Mason, Mark and Linda Shaughnessy, Amanda Goins in memory of Marissa Elmore, Edward Berger, $110, Johnny Brown, $120, Roder Living Trust, $125, Stephen Glenn, $125, Richard and Amy Losh, $150, JB and Judy Skaggs, $150 in memory of Shirley Gibson Leslie, Kenneth and Carol Hester, $150, Dorothy and Clinton Stiles, $150 in memory of Christopher Stiles, John and Darlene Wasser, $200. These are $200 from now on. Alan and Deborah Wilson in memory of Bob and Louise Stallings and Jenny and Byron Wilson, Pauletta Keith in memory of Paul Keith, George Bradbury in memory of Shelley Murphy Bradbury, Elaine and David Beers, Walter and Janice Reeves, Chris Dickens, Thomas Sissel, Luke and Deanna Cooper, $241.36. John and Jean Marshall, $250. Robert and Phyllis Washer, $250 in memory of Tommy G., Tommy A. Clan, Willie Mae, and Chester Washer. Hartzell and Christopher Strode, $300. Carol Close in memory of Roger Lauderman, $400. Stephen and Anna Hawkins, $400. Donna and Mark Fulner, $420 in memory of Estelle Strange. Now I have $500 donations. Bobby and Billy Couch in memory of Bobby Lee Couch. Rocky and Jennifer Toll. Rhonda and Paul Keith in memory of my late husband Paul Keith. Greg and Connie Brown. Karen Courts in memory of Gina and Howard Hauser. Michael and Ruth Homrick. City of Hillview gave $759.58. Paul and Kathy Grant, $560. Mary Cooper, $1,000. Michael Fletcher, $1,000.
Oh my gosh, quite a list there. Great job, guys. Now, who gets to read the total? Is it Kevin?
Yeah, but I got a couple other things I'd like to
Perfect.
say.
That's great.
You know, throughout the year, Crusade goes on. We always do events throughout the year. People can follow us on our Facebook page, keep up with what we're doing throughout the year. Every year, we also do a fishing tournament. This year, the fishing tournament's going to be on September 9th. And you can go on our website, look for application on that, contact the firehouse, speak with Wayne Mosley. Last year, we raised $4,729 just for that event alone. One thing I missed is we'd like to thank Grayson County Tourism. They really help us support that and get us down there to Rough to be able to do that tournament. We also did a Zonton Fire Beauty pageant that Lisa Kuiper does every year. We raised $2,736 on that one. This year, coming up, our next big event will be with the City of Hillview again. August 4th, they're going to do an outside movie we're going to do dinner. So we're going to do a fish fry and have some foods for the family. So before the movie, they can come in and have dinner and everything. And all the money goes to Crusade for that one. So
Great, one-stop shopping. I like it.
that's right. Two businesses that were red, but we'd like to thank them because throughout the year they help us with numerous different things, always giving us money with whatever we need to help with the events and stuff, which is Mercer Transportation and Minnie's Use Self-Storage. Again, they help us with a lot of different things throughout the year. So if we're ready for the total.
You guys ready for the total? What do we think? Okay.
We're down this year. We took a little bit of a hit.
Okay, every penny counts.
It does, it does. So this year, we're turning in, at this time, $78,089.58.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Give them a round of applause. Okay. That's so great, guys. All right, my helpers, go ahead and pour. I know you've been waiting patiently.
Pour it in there, Trav.
Pour it in there.
Everybody get your bucket. Come on.
Good work, everybody. Thank you guys so much from
Thank
Zone
you.
10 Fire. We're going to send things back over to Kayla Moody.
Another Bullitt County appeal. All right. Good job, everybody.
All right, Sarah, thank you. And now I'm standing with the Mount Washington Fire Department. Thank you both for joining us. Standing here with me is Captain Chad Barker and Captain Brian Byers. Thank you so much for coming and joining us, gentlemen, and thank you for donating to the Crusade. You have a few words you wanted to say first, I understand.
But of course, before I get started, first and foremost, if I mispronounce anyone's name, miss anybody's name, I apologize.
It's hard going through those names, isn't it? I know. I read them every day on the news. It's tough.
Yes. We'll start off on March 10th, 2017. We lost one of our own, was Major Steve Kennedy. He served with the Mount Washington Fire Protection District for 35 years. Dear friend of everyone. And he was very well, educated into the Crusade for Children. He was there every year through thick and thin. This year, the Mount Washington Fire Protection District would like to dedicate this year's Crusade to Major Steve Kennedy. Steve's family brought up the money that was found in Steve's piggy bank, and we would like to thank Steve for his $49.45 donation.
Let's pause for a minute and give him an applause for being such a dedicated volunteer for so many years. Thank you so much.
Alrighty, get into it here. We'll start off with some food donations. We're going to start off with Bullitt County Circuit Court Clerk Paulita Keith, Arby's in Mount Washington, Hometown Pizza, Dairy Queen, Subway, Derby City Pizza, Halftime Sports, Bar and Grill, Burger King, Bootleg Barbecue, and Domino's, all businesses in Mount Washington. Thank you. All right, and we'll start with some in memories of Darlene Fowler in memory of Lloyd Woosley, Florence Ryan in memory of Dolan Ryan, Floyd and Joyce Scroggum in memory of Luke Foster, Blake and Shelby Byers in memory of PA, Rose and Michael Mills in memory of Hazy Downs and the family of BJ Mills, William and Carolyn Mitchell in memory of Jesse and Ann Allen and Bill Mitchell Sr., Clint and Kelly Eisenberg in memory of Louise Jared, $100 Catherine Hatfield in memory of Major Steve Kennedy, Daniel, Teresa, and Chris Kennedy, $100 Henry and Patricia Watson in memory of Stephen Kennedy, $100 Johnny and June Wigington in memory of Clay Wigington and Alex Bukey, $100 Ralph Couch in memory of Brenda Couch, $100 in BB's consignment in memory of Christina Gabehart Jones and George Gabehart, $100 Philip and Jackie Kennedy in memory of Steve Kennedy, $100 Sarah Catlett and Sons in memory of Dane Catlett, $100 Justin Newton in memory of Steve Kennedy, $261.70 Brian and Stephanie Vyers in memory of Steve Kennedy and Daryl Vyers, $300 Mr. and Mrs. Lemuel Tyler in memory of loved ones that have passed, $1,000 Algar Excavating Company in memory of Pete and Bernice Marilla, $25 donation from Rosemary Parish in honor of Logan, Julia, and Evan, $50, Tiffany Nally in honor of Tatum Tinley and Tanner Nally. $50, Stephanie Vincent in honor of Keith Royalty. $100, Cantrell's Lawn Care Service in honor of Logan Cantrell. $111.11, Lonnie Gravens in honor of grandkids Kelsey, Jessica, and Megan. $500, Harold and Darlene Knapp in honor of healthy granddaughter Madison McDonald. And that's all I have. I'm going to pass it over to Captain Brian Byers. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
We've got a few more donations here. I want to start off with a $10 donation from Charlie Long, $15 donation from James and Eleanor Young, $16 donation from Rita Marion. You got some $20 donations from Mr. and Mrs. Floyd Ash and Karen Foster, $20 from Thomas Schwartz, $20 from Joe Lee and William Bass, and also $20 from Charles and Linda Honaker. $20 donation from Thomas and Janice Gay, $25 donations from Nancy Carruthers and Bonnie Carter, $25 donation from Mr. and Mrs. Lloyd Dooley and Kimberly and Troy Woodson, $25 donation from Michael McBride, and also Linda and Bobby Wilson, $25 donation from Gail Williams, also $25 donation from Rebecca and Steve Piello, $25 donation from Francis and Janice Wren, and also Hair Tenders donated $25. $25 donation from Daryl and Patricia Stevens, and also James and Gail Blair. Jimmy and Shirley Hammond donated $25 along with Jesse and Norma Compton. $25 donation from Bobby Darnell. We also got $25 donation from James and Barbara Hamlet. Also Clayenne Stout. $25 donation from William and Diane Poole. Elmer and Donna Hinkle also donated $25. $25 donation from Michael and Tina Bryant. Moving on to $30 donation from Rosemary Sandifer. $40 donation from Morris Dean and Donna Jasper. $40 donation from Karen Gray. Moving to our $50 donation from Kelly and Lynn Hayes Martin, Vaughn and Tony Tishner. $50 donation from James Smallwood. Also Philip and Sandy Johnson donated $50. $50 donation from Connie and Lewis Anton. Also from Frank and Georgianne Shealy. $50 from Deborah Hudson along with Richard and Beverly Capel. $50 donation from Stephen and Hazel Mobley. $50 donation from Craig and Carolyn Davis. Also Jamie McDonald donated $50. $50 donation from Fairvay Knight, Arlena and Billy Hobbs. $50 donation from Diana and John Cawthorn. $50 donation from Eddie and Janice Bleemel. $50 donation from Daniel Griffith and also William and Bonnie Davis. Game Day Graphics donated $50 along with Deborah and Donald DeZatis. $50 donation from Bella Piercy. John and Dolores Bistarkey also donated $50. $50 donation from William and Maria Hayden. Donnie and Marilyn Metcalf also is going to round out our $50 donation. We got a $64 donation from Max and Sherry McMillan. Moving on to our $100 donations, Papa John's of Mount Washington and also Karen Hayden, $100. Pamela Flights and Charles Check donated $100. $100 donation from Shirley and Michael Slavely. $100 from Stephen and Carla Widmar. Ronald and Kimberly Seitz also donated $100. $100 donation from Gary and Leslie Fry, along with Joy Fisher. $100 donation from Deborah and Gary Schmetzer and Dorothy Stout. $100 donation from Deanie Whip. Got a $100 donation from David and Elizabeth Bass. Also, Mr. and Mrs. David Cheatham donated $100. $100 donation from MC Arnold. $100 donation from Patricia and Montgomery. McFarland Troutman Prophet Funeral Home donated $100. Jim Sharp and Jocelyn Lewis donated $100. $100 donation from Anthony and Mary Morris. Also, Sandra McCoy donated $100. $100 donation from Mike Whip. $150 donation from Doug and Mary Cooper. $165 donation from Charles and Julia Welch. $200 donations from Melvin and Kimberly Bischoff. Also $200 from Verna and James Jeanette. And Linda and Leon Remington also donated $200. Moving on to $300 donations from George and Sherry Stewart. Mount Washington Sash and Door donated $300. $400 donation from Michael and Sheila McDarius. Lawrence Lush donated $500, as did Stephen and Kathleen Cotner. The Mount Washington Lions Club donated $500. $500 donation from Steve and Tina Abrams. $885.47 from Old Mill Elementary School. $1,000 donation from Schopenhurst, Neurath, and Brooks Funeral Home. $1,000 donation from Charles and Elizabeth Hartley. In closing, we want to thank everyone who helped in making this year's Crusade a success, especially the residents and businesses in the community of Mount Washington. We would like to give a big thanks to all the firefighters and their family for all their hard work. We would like to thank First Harrison Bank for allowing us to use their parking lot, and we would also like to give a huge thanks to the Mount Washington Dance Unlimited, Dance Moms, and Philip and April Kennedy for helping with our roadblocks. This year's total for the Mount Washington Fire Protection District is $24,000.
$24,000. All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here, and thank you for your generosity in coming here to help the crusade. All right, and again, that was Mount Washington Fire Department, $24,000. Let's head over to Rachel Platt and Sarah Wagner standing by live.
All right. Hey, Terry.
Oh, hi. Good to see you.
Terry wants to steal the show.
He's whispering. Don't kiss me. You know I'm full of germs.
Superstar. I know. She's lost her voice a little bit, but she's a superstar.
I'm
Miss
good.
Rachel
I'm ready to
Platt.
go.
I know. Teaching me a thing or two about Crusade. This is my second one, but we're with Westport Fire Department. Thank you guys so much for being here. And you've got a pretty cool story you were telling us.
Yes, with my family, my dad joined the fire department in Jefferson County in '91, so I'm working towards that 30-year mark of Crusade. My brother the same, he hasn't missed one since he was born in '91. So we continue every year, and our fire department has really stepped up this year and been wonderful. We're a very small department. We have 12, and we are strictly volunteers. We're a department out there on the north side of Oldham County, and big area and a lot of rural community, but our department has stepped up and stepped out to help us this year, and you all will see that reflected in our totals. We've got a few thank yous that we'd like to remember this year.
That, though, I had to laugh because when we were doing the face painting, you said, that's what I remember most growing up, is just being here and the face painting as a kid, and you said the fond memories you have.
I remember, I was telling her, I remember hanging out in the basement waiting, and when you used to wait 8 and 10 hours to come upstairs, and we would sleep on the floor in the basement and cram ourselves full of pizza and hot dogs and
It's barbecue
whatever.
today.
It is barbecue today. Whatever junk food you could get your hands on, and have your face painted, and just all the kids from all the departments. We grew up together. Once a year we all met down here, and still to this day I was downstairs and I ran into kids that I grew up with that are now doing the same thing with their department. And we never lose touch because we see each other every year right here.
It's like the passing of the torch through the generations. Okay, now your thank yous. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I love the nostalgia.
I'm such a sap for that. I know.
I
It's
knew
so
you would
sweet.
be.
I know.
All right. We had some $50 check donations that we'd like to recognize. Camila and Roger Fentress, Donald J. Zeitz Jr., Philip and Cynthia Green, Tommy and Judy Smith, Art Toby, his business Toby's Lawn and Landscaping. We had some $100 check donations, Rob and Carol Ann Hunter, Tom Fuller, LaGrange Service Center, who do auto repair, and Steve and Maureen James, they have a glass patterns business. We had a couple in memory of, $50 in memory of Clayton Wayne Kuntz by Wayne and Rachel Murphy. And just to mention, Wayne and Rachel also donated, we don't have a food business like a fast food chain in our district, so they made sure to bring us cookies and deli sandwiches and meat to keep us going the whole, we really hit it hard the last week and a half, so they kept us going. And then we also had $100 in honor of Marshall Bush Strawn by Jamie and Ricky Swords. He was one of the founding members of our fire department who passed away doing what he loved on his farm about 2 weeks ago. So we're proud and honored to be able to give that donation in memory of him.
Sorry to hear about him.
We also had from Rick and Karen Albers, former chief of North Oldham Fire Department, in memory of our late fire chief who was killed in the line of duty, Christopher Stock. they gave $1,000 to the Crusade for Children in his memory. So I'm gonna let you talk to Haley, who's got some special thank yous.
All right,
Thank you so much.
So much. Okay, Haley, moving over to you, my dear.
Thanks. We would also like to thank Wayne's Polaris for the use of a Polaris Ranger, which helped our collecting a lot easier for our community. And we'd also like to thank the Westport community. Without your all's help, we wouldn't be here today. And thank you for stepping up for the children today. It means a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for making sure we thank everybody.
So
you've got the grand total. We're switching back.
Are you going to be the one saying it?
All right. We're up over 60% from last year. We had
that's impressive.
We had a
Show
goal. We had a goal, and we blew it out of the water. Thanks to everyone. Our grand total this year was $3,770.89.
That is awesome.
I love it. We've got a money pour. Here we go. Good job. That sound never gets old. Thank you guys so much.
And nothing like blasting through your expectation there, right?
Yeah, it was wonderful. Next year, our goal's 4,000. Just a heads up, Westport, we're coming 4,000 next year.
So residents, be ready, because here you come. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. We're going to send it over to Terry.
Thanks, Sarah. And Rachel Platt. That Rachel Platt is the best. I hope to meet her sometime, Matt. That's faked when you see us on TV together. She won't be in the same room with me. It's good to have you in from Sellersburg, just up the street. How are things in Sellersburg?
Quiet as ever.
Captain Matt Reynolds represents Sellersburg. He's brought some friends in. Hello there. Good to see you.
I'm Josh.
Hi, Josh. Good to see you. What's your name?
Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
I'm Dustin.
Dustin, tell me about your work this year, Matt.
All right. This year's Crusade for Children, we like to dedicate it to our past fire chief who passed away, excuse me, in May. His name was Carson Fisher. He was a big help to the community and a big help to our department over the years as his tenure as chief. He always had a saying when he would go out and help us with roadblocks that only 10,000 nickels could help many children.
Good saying.
So this year's Crusade for Children will be dedicated to Chief Fisher. We also got some in memory of, for Chief Fisher, that we like to recognize. Mary Murray, Brad and Lisa Walker, Trudy and Jerry Landing, Kathy and Jerry Linsbury, and if I misspelled anybody's name or missaid it, I apologize. Kathleen Gilmore, Dorothy Hockman, Anna and Dave Burson.
Let me interrupt you for a second. That's a beautiful blue truck we're seeing on the screen.
Hey, that's our pride and joy.
You're
right
proud
there.
of that baby, aren't you?
But I got a new one this year too.
Oh yeah?
And it's my pride and joy.
Is it blue also?
Blue and white.
Oh, blue and white. All right, keep playing there.
David and Debbie Reynolds, Anita Tackett. We also like to thank Ohio Falls United Methodist Church. It's where Mr. Fisher attended church at. Richard and Deb Mithar. These would be in memory of Nora, Joyce Love, in memory of Dave Love, or I'm sorry, Bob Love. Deanna and James Long in memory of Chardies. Wayne and Linda Hobbs in memory of Stephanie. Charles and Patricia Back in memory of Amy Jo. Sue and Richard Baker in memory of Herb Baker. Brian and Jane Murray in memory of Tom Tackett. Roger D. Geary in memory of Shirley. Shirley was his wife that passed away. It was the love of his life. The last two memory ofs would be Thomas Scott in memory of Aaron Crayford and Bill Mammy. Also have a memory from Tony and Marie Dishman, and that one goes in honor of all the children. Also got some other people we recognize that gave over the roadblocks and doing door-to-door this year. Gary and Brenda Pillman, Patricia and Daniel Vogel, Roger and Ramona Harsley, Beth DeDepfa, L.A. Cook, Robert and Sarah Horsman, Patricia Mayman, Charles Smallwood, Jonah Devons, Lisa and James Lewis, Sharon Killyhammer, John Spurgeon, Devin Rainbow, Renee Klopp, Mary Leah Wagner, Robert and Judith Campbell, Richard and Rebecca Baker, Leonard and Marie Curbs, Norma Ellenbrock, James and Carol Taylor, Barbara Adams, Dennis and Deanna Gleason, and Kent and Karen Albert. Next, we'd like to thank all the businesses in the Salisbury area that contribute sending us back the checks to help us bring in the money this year. M&M Office Products, Lockup Storage, Kentuckiana Insurance Center, J.L. Gilbert Company, Jackson Therapy, Crumbs Heating and Air Conditioning, Care Pets Animal Hospital, Hausman and Sweeney's Construction, A Nice Reflections, Central Credit Union, McAfee Trucking, RMC of Clark County, Salisbury Metals and Welding, Hampton Airways, Church of Christ of Salisbury, Llewellyn Ceilings Coats, Design Smiles, American Classic Cars of Southern Indiana. They had a big car show this past weekend at the McDonald's there. They do every first Friday of every month. And those guys gave us a pretty good check this year. We appreciate that. The Cabinet Barn, New Washington State Bank, excuse me, Agent Robert Smith of State Farms, and Third Generation. Now to the most important part, gotta have food. You can't do all this hard work if you ain't got no food to eat. And of course, look at me, I like to eat there.
Bring it on, brother.
JC Food Mart Salisbury, Papa John's Salisbury, McDonald's Salisbury and Memphis, Arby's Salisbury and Memphis, Moose Lodge, American Legion, Domino's Salisbury, Chuck E. Cheese Clarksville, Rubbin' Butts Barbecue in Salisbury, Mozzarella's Pizza Salisbury, Fireside Bar and Grill, Crickets, Burger King Salisbury, Taco Bell Salisbury, and KFC in Salisbury.
They're all good people.
All good food.
All doing good work.
All good food.
Making food.
That's right.
All right, Cap, that was a pretty good rundown. You ready to give us a total?
I'm ready to give the total for this year.
All right, for the 64th WHAS Crusade for Children from the Sellersburg Volunteer Fire Department, your grand total is?
Last year's grand total was $10,000. This year we bring $17,828.
That's a pretty substantial upgrade. $17,828 from Sellersburg Fire Department. Thank you all very much. Anybody want to pour? We're going to pour a little bit here. Let's do that. That sounds like fun, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Love the sound of that. Thank you so much for your work. Appreciate you immensely. Thanks so much, Cap.
Not a problem. Thank you.
All righty, let's go back and say hi to Rachel Platt.
All right, boy, do we have a crowd here with the Okolona Fire Department. Hello, everybody. Hello. Every time you all come, you come strong, that's for sure. We've got the Assistant Chief. What do you say?
Go big or go home.
Okolona believes that. We have the Assistant Chief with me right now, Carrie Luker. You're going to get things started, but you have several people who are going to speak.
We do, Rachel. Sure do. At this time, I'd like to welcome our President of Auxiliary. She's going to go over all of our donations for food and beverages that we've had to take care of all of our great people over the weekend.
All right, we're going to start with you then and say your name, even though we know who you are.
Sherry Carlson.
Of course, of course. I see Pop over there.
Yeah, we got him to come down. So I want to start by thanking the auxiliary members, period, because they did a phenomenal job this weekend. Everybody had happy bellies. Everybody was hydrated. No issues on, somebody not having what they needed. So guys, thank you. You did phenomenal.
I know, that's a big job.
It is a big job. From contacting the businesses and following up with calls and getting the food and making sure we've got it to rotate in for all the crews, because we've got a lot of people. It's a very vast undertaking, and I'm excited. We do very well every year. But I want to go ahead and read off our list. It's kind of lengthy, so I apologize. We've got Arby's at Preston and Outer Loop, Roosters, Holy Smokes Barbecue, Buffalo Wild Wings, Burger King, Captain D's, Cheddar's, Chili's, Chick-fil-A, Culver's, Golden Buddha, Jade Garden, White Castle, Olive Garden, Domino's Okolona, Walmart on the Outer Loop, Meijer, Fazoli's, Hardee's, Jimmy John's Preston, Long John Silver's A&W, Delectabites Bakery, Stump Distributing Incorporated, Little Caesars, Moby Dick, O'Charlie's, Qdoba, Papa John's on Mud Lane, Pick Pack, Rallies, Substation 2, Ponderosa, Subway, Krispy Kreme on 7th Street, Thornton's at South Park, Save-A-Lot, the Kerr family, retired firefighter from the fire department, Zaxby's, McAllister's, McDonald's at Blue Lick and Preston. Thank you. You really did a great job this year with us. Wendy's on Mud Lane, Max Orient, Taco Bell, Hooters, Tammy Beckley, Dairy Delight, Debbie Diffenworth, and Tiffany Gray. And Tiffany actually went out house to house yesterday, 13 days from her due date, trying to walk the baby out. And guess who ended up in the hospital in labor last night? I'm so excited. So no, they sent her home.
All for the Crusade.
All for the Crusade. She was dilated, having contractions 3 minutes apart. So I'm just waiting on the.
That's when you say, okay, I got to call it off right now.
No, I said you need to leave.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. And I think that was every restaurant within the Okolona area, just about.
Just about, and it keeps growing and growing and growing. So we've got.
What support you all have.
Yes.
Really do. Okay.
All right, Rachel, thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to introduce Sergeant Casey. He's going to do all of our business collections of what we didn't read on yesterday, and then I'll finish up at the end.
Very good. Come on up, sir.
Okay, we'll start with the business collections.
You look like you've gotten some sun.
A little bit. I did 2 days in a row with Grant, walking the road.
Well, Grant Logston, one of our buddies over there. Hey, Grant.
Grant worked his butt off.
He is awesome.
I've got blisters on my feet from pushing him, and I tell you what,
Grant doesn't give up.
No, he does not. We were out till closing last night, so I mean, he did a great job.
And I had to laugh because you were saying that people will change lanes just to get Grant, so they can give Grant their money.
Yes, and they did.
He's a tradition.
Yes. So I'll start off with the business donations, 0 to 50. Harold and Luann Hampton, Glenda Lansford, and Philip and Cheryl Budget in memory of Rose Badgett. Then I've got 50 to 100 Firehouse Subs and Eastview Church of Christ. 250 to 300 Oscar King, and then donations over $600, $1,000 from Carrier Vibrating Equipment. One of the great, they donate to us every year. Appreciate it. We look forward to that. It helps us hit that goal, which we really fought to get this year.
Okay, but you were fighting, huh?
Yeah, we were fighting. Okay, now I'm going to do some non-business donations from 0 to 50. Roy and Brenda Daniels, Gary and Joanne Gordon, Wilma Artrick, Emma Jean Mattingly in memory of Joanne Powell, Thomas and Barbara Underwood, Cheryl Brown, Richard Grant in memory of Rebecca Grant, Jeffrey and Renee Osborne, Margie Pendleton in memory of Raymond Pendleton, Unknown in memory of Noah Gibson, James and Jan Baker, Carrie and Betty Jo Luker in memory of Frank Dillman, Duo and Bonnie.
We say yes to that.
Okay, Duo and Bonnie Mitchell, Daryl and Carol Huddle in memory of Martha Boswell, Sharon Beeler in memory of Betty Harden, Dana and Wilson in memory of former Edgewood Chief John Barfield, Natalie Barfield and Sharon Seattle, Kimberly Detlinger in memory of Kevin Baines, Charles and Carla Marshall, in memory of Barbara Mirafield, Marshall Johnson for Jimmy, Blaze Abner.
That wasn't it. That was not directed
No, I don't
at
think
you.
it was either.
Something else happened. Keep going. You're doing a fantastic job.
Blaze Abner in memory of Nick Roman, John Schaefer in memory of Johnny Schaefer, Mary Pauline in honor of Fred Hill, and Unknown in memory of Margaret and Ben Waters. Okay, this one's done. Let's go.
You want me to hold the ones done? You got it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, then I got donations of non-business from 50 to 100. Payton family in memory of Irma Payton with love from her family. Roger Crenshaw, Dell Stearman, Frida Whitmore, Hughes Fraser, Linda Allen in honor of Danny Ray Allen and the Edgewood Fire Department. Gail Evans, Warren and Kathy Roberts, Charles and Joanne Schneider, William and Dana Stone, Joseph Marie Metcalf for, thank you, Stan.
We've got this down to a science now.
I love Stan. Randall and Bedford Gibson, Barbara Brown in memory of Cecil Brown, Darwin and Carol Hendricks, George and Kathy Bickle, Rich and Jennifer Carlson in memory of Kevin Baines, Donna Smith, Timothy Wilkerson, Frank and Anna Nally in memory of James Trevor Nally, Cecil and Lila Sheehan, Joseph and Janice Pendleton in memory of Bob and Dorothy Coulter, Gerald and Barbara Underhill, Bill and Debbie Dithenworth, Thomas and Carol Wigger, Thomas and Mary Alvey, Nancy Bell, Walter Gamble, William Thomas in memory of Margie Thomas. Thank you. Whew. Okay. Some more.
I've got a cough drop if you need one. You need
A
some
bottle of water. I got them.
Tell us if you need some water. We'll get you.
We're almost there. 0 to 50, Patricia Shore, David and Sherry Young, David and Sherry Lawin, France Chappell and Gary Kim. Now I got donations from 50 to 100. Richard and Carla Duncan, Cecil Smith, Kevin Coulter, James Taylor, Lavana Logsden, C.W. Schumeyer, Timothy Alger, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that right, in memory of Anna and Kevin. Then I got donations from 150 to 200, Brenda and David Holland, and donations from 200 to 250, Kathy Lowers and Doris and Donald Wetzel.
Terry is goofing around there with Rich Carlson.
And that's it. That's all on my
Good
list.
for you. You did very well. Okay.
Rachel, we got
You
one
tell
other
us where we're
gentleman
going.
speak for us. It's Stan Ferguson.
Hey,
He takes
Stan.
over
How
our
are you?
special thank you.
You've got some thank yous, too.
No, we had a raffle for Bailey Tools yesterday. I'd like to thank them for all the help that they do throughout the year. And the tools was donated through Milwaukee Tools.
Nice.
And there's the guy, his name was James Schaffer. I talked to him yesterday.
I bet he was thrilled he won.
At first he didn't believe me, but he did. So I'd like to thank them. And before I turn it over to Chief, I'll tell you what my total was for selling the tools and odd and end raffles, or not raffles, but donations was $1,800.
$1,800, that's just for the tools. Congratulations on that. That goes into the main total.
Thank you very much, Dan. Well, Rachel, I guess this is the time I need to thank all of our people, the Oklahoma firefighters, their families, friends, volunteers in the Oklahoma community. Y'all done a great job. Thank you all very much. Thank you folks on TV. We couldn't do it without you all. At this time, I've got a little special presentation. I'd like to ask Chief Dave Goldsmith from the Highview Fire Department and his members to come forward.
And we've seen this tribute today
Yes, ma'am.
several times, and I know heartfelt and such a loss. Okay, how are you, sir? I saw you earlier today. It was a tough moment, I know for sure.
Let's make sure we get Kevin's picture right there.
Tell us the story a little bit.
We'll let Chief do that.
Okay.
In Thanksgiving Day 2015, Kevin was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. The day before Thanksgiving 2016, he passed away. So we've dedicated this year to Kevin, all the collections we've done, and we've had our neighbors to do the same thing. So I think that's what Carrie wants to do.
Well, and I've heard that in memory of many of them. I heard his name mentioned several times.
You sure did, Rachel. And for the Oklahoma Fire Department and the Oklahoma community, I'd like to do for Chief Goldsmith, we're going to pledge our collections of the total, which was $61,263.29 in memory of Major Kevin Baines, which is a member of the Oklahoma Fire Department for 2013 and 14. He was one of our part-time guys. He was a brother, so we want to. Our Chief Goswell couldn't be here today, but he also is very happy that we're doing this. Chief, we want to pledge our total collections to the Highview Fire Department memory of Kevin.
So I'd like to do that total again and have you say something, and we're going to announce that total again because in his honor, I think we should applaud. I think he would be thrilled with this total in his honor. What would you like to say?
Well, on behalf of all the members of the Highview Fire Department, of our community, and Kevin's family, you know, it's an honor for us to accept that.
And I love the fact that so many of you all have come together for a fallen comrade.
Great young man there. We had a great man. Yeah.
So again, I'm going to say for the 64th Annual Crusade for Children, in his memory.
In memory is $61,263.93.
Very good. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Well, I can tell this has been a very tough time for you all. Can I have you all throw some of that money in the goldfish bowl? All right. There they go. You got it all. You got it all. Hello, sweetheart. How are you doing? And Okolona, take a bow. Great job. Thank you all very much. And right now we're going to head out to Robert Bradfield in Cordon. Thanks, guys.
Robert Bradfield here once again for the WHAS Crusade for Children. We are here in the parking lot of the Cordon Walmart, and right now I'm being joined by the Painville Fire Department. Your name for me, sir?
Nathan Whalen.
Nathan Whalen. And we'll go down the line here.
Tim McMahon.
And you're the chief, huh?
Right.
Okay.
Lynette McMahon, treasurer.
Joe Wood.
Brandon Taylor. Daniel Griffith. Joseph Griffith.
Making my way down the line here. Your name for me?
Taylor McMahon.
Ron Dodson.
And what's your name?
Layla Whalen.
Very good. Thank you for your time here and all of the donations. Go ahead. And your donations so far this year, how are you looking?
We look pretty good this year, actually. We want to start off with our thank yous. First of all, we celebrated 40 years of service this year. So we want to thank the Dodson family, first of all, for kind of getting the ball rolling 40 years ago. We want to thank everybody who has helped us in any way over the last 40 years. That's a big list of people, and I'm not even going to begin to start on that. So,
do you rely on volunteers as well?
Absolutely. That's one of the challenges we have faced lately is our volunteer numbers are dropping, which it's a general problem between volunteer departments. So we rely heavily on the other departments in our county for help. So we want to say thank you to them too. We want to thank all the volunteers and the firemen who worked the Crusade roadblock this year, who did their door-to-door. We also want to give a special shout out to the Woods family, Hammer and Joe and Brad, also Crystal Mattingly, who are there every year if possible on that roadblock every day. They help us out tremendously. We want to say thank you to the ladies who did the yard and bake sale, especially Janet, Ann, Linda Brown, Verna, Patty, Haley, Linda, Donna, Jay, Margaret, Lori, and the girls. We have so much help on the yard and bake sale. I apologize if we missed anyone, but the ladies in the community really step up and help out with that. We want to thank especially the community who donated to the bake sale, the yard sale, the roadblock, the door-to-door. We hound them, and they come up big every year.
I was going to say, you ask for those donations every year, but people keep giving.
Absolutely. I don't know, I was on the roadblock yesterday. I saw one lady go through, I know 3 or 4 times, and every time she went through the roadblock, I think she dropped the dollar bill in the bucket. So it's just people like that, you know. They give every time, and it surprises me because, you know, I don't do that.
Well, and they also do it with a smile on their face as well.
Absolutely, right. So We also want to give a shout out to, the people who helped us out with food, Taco Bell, Papa John's, Mr. Gaddy's in Brandenburg, also Marie Bar and at the Painville School who provided us with ice and the coolers all week. We also want to say a big thank you to Jean Cashman. She donates a handmade quilt every year, and we raffle this off.
We see that here, yeah.
Yeah, this is a quilt we had this year. This year the raffle brought in $500 for us, and every year we give this away on the air. So since we're talking about it, let's just go ahead and give this away now.
And I'm supposed to do the honors here. Okay. I'm not looking as evident here, so let's dig deep. And the winner is, well, you said draw an easy name. I'm assuming that's Valor Blake. Valor Blake. There's a phone number here. I'm not going to give away your phone number, but Valor Blake won the quilt. So if that's that person out there listening, what do they need to do?
They need to contact Eddie Greenwell.
Eddie Greenwell.
Yes.
Okay. And they know who that is?
Yes, they do.
Okay, very good. Well, congratulations on the winner there. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, the phone number's on there, so if we don't get a hold of us, we'll get a hold of you.
Sure.
So, she mentioned Eddie Greenwell, and he doesn't like being mentioned, but he's our organizer. We want to give a big shout out to Eddie because he works his butt off. Not just Crusade week, but all the weeks leading up through Crusade, getting things done.
51 other weeks as well.
Absolutely.
I wanna follow where she goes.
He tries to give it up every year.
I think about her and she knows it.
Well, thank you to Eddie.
I wanna let it take control.
Go over some of the ways we make money here.
Cause every time that she gets closer, she pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. Maybe I should stop and start confessing. Yeah. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation. Manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. She says that she's never afraid. Just picture everybody naked. She really doesn't like to wait.
Not me. He's gay if you bought an auto. I hate auto users.
She said bought an auto, but it's like, it's instinct, it's NT. I don't know who bought it, but it to me did. Ooh, Allian got him, bro.
Don't buy an auto. He's gay.
Allian.
Pronunciation of the name. We won. No,
yeah, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go leave and go eat some fucking pussy and be back.
See you, my dude.
Well, Mr. Xbox, you're pretty bad.
Gay is.
Why are you touching your 12 bullets left?
No. Oh, not my
What
dude.
a disaster.
Bye, my dude. I'm not leaving. I'm talking about
Baby. Let go, Rig Bay!
B for boobies.
Ooh, long with an auto.
Good entrance from
Long gun, watch out. There's 3 long, I lit one of them with a scout, so. Ooh, disaster at the pick.
Are you joking? One of them has an auto.
Where's the teammate? You know what, Cat, he's not peeking me right now.
I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation. Manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. I feel so free when you're with me, baby. Baby, there's nothing holding me back.
National Corvette Museum, Indiana Caverns, the Louisville Zoo, Louisville Max Caverns, Market Beach Store, Big Class Adventures of French Lick, Louisville Athletics, the Sharp Motor Speedway.
I wanna let it take control. Cause every time that she gets close, she pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. Maybe I should stop and start confessing. Yeah. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. She says that she's never afraid. Just picture everybody naked. She really doesn't like to wait. Not really into hesitation. Pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. Maybe I should stop and start confessing. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. Cause if the last time I think I took you way too far, I know we'd be alright. Be alright if you were by my side. When we stumbled in the dark, I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright. Cause if we last time I think we took it way too far, I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright if you were by my side. We stumbled in the dark, I know we'd be alright. We would be alright. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. I feel so free when you're with me, baby. Baby, there's nothing holding me back.
Logan and Levi, $100 donation for Nathan Tia and Laylee Whalen in memory of Kelly Walker. $100 donation for Karen Rico.
I know where she goes.
$100 donation.
I think about her and she knows it. I wanna let it take control. Cause every time that she gets close, she pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. And maybe I should stop and start confessing. Yeah. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. She says that she's never afraid. Just picture everybody naked. She really doesn't like to wait. Not really into hesitation. Pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. Oh, maybe I should stop and start confessing. Yeah. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, we took it way too far. I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright if you were by my side. I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright. 'Cause if we lost our minds and we took it way too far, I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright if you were by my side. We stumbled in the dark. I know we'd be alright. We would be alright. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation. Manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. I feel so free when you're with me, baby. Baby, there's nothing holding me back.
2 tangos left. Deploying flashbang.
I wanna follow where she goes. I think about it and she knows it. I wanna let it take control. 'Cause every time that she gets close, she pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. Baby, I just stop and start confessing. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation. Manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. She says that she's never afraid. Just picture everybody naked. She really doesn't like the way. Not really into hesitation. Pulls me in enough. Guessing. Maybe I should stop and start confessing. Confessing. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation. Manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. If we lost our minds and we took it way too far, I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright if you were by my side. When we stumbled in the dark, I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright. 'Cause if we lost our minds and we took it way too far, I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright if you were by my side. We stumbled in the dark, I know we'd be alright. We would be alright. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation. Manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. I feel so free when you're with me, baby. Baby, there's nothing holding me back.
It's all to the volunteers. The auxiliaries total for this year is $31,044.
I wanna follow where she goes. I think about her and she knows it. I wanna let it take control. 'Cause every time that she gets close, she pulls me in enough to keep me guessing.
Nice work, people. Welcome if you got 'em.
nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. She says that she's never afraid. Just picture everybody naked. She really doesn't like to wait. Not really into hesitation. Pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. Oh, maybe I should stop confessing. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. If we lost our minds and we took it way too far, we'd be alright. No, we would be alright if you were by my side. When we stumbled in the dark, we'd be alright. I know we would be alright. Cause if we lost our minds and we took it way too far, I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright if you were by my side. We stumbled in the dark, I know we'd be alright. We would be alright. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. I feel so free when you're with me, baby. Baby, there's nothing holding me back.
Denise Hahn, $100 in memory of Diane Joseph, Whitestone, $50 in memory of Garrard.
I think about it. I wanna let it take control. Cause every time that she gets close, she pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. Maybe I should stop and stop confessing. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. She says that she's never afraid. Just picture everybody naked. She really doesn't like to wait. Not really into hesitation. Pulls me in love. Maybe I should stop and start confessing. Confessing, yeah. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you.
I was have my daughter here.
Does she want to come on up? Bring your daughter up. Because I can tell Daddy is getting emotional here. Tell us the story.
I don't often tell her.
You look at her. You look at him. Because I'm going to cry and I don't even know the story.
Hey, Bobs.
I don't often tell her how proud I am of her. And I want to take this opportunity. She just graduated college from Moorhead State University with a degree in psychology. She can do anything in life that she wants to do, okay? And I just want to tell her and everybody else how proud I am of you and how much I love you.
Oh, let me too.
Very sweet. Well, my gosh.
Okay, got that.
I'm proud of him. He's done an amazing job this year with all this, and I'm really proud of everyone that's here in this department and the things that they do in this community. I don't think they realize how much they touch, how many lives they touch, and not just for the kids, but in the community in general.
Well, good for you. That was well said of your Pop. Congratulations.
All right.
Well, we need tissue.
Yeah. Can we go to the commercial break or something? I mean, you know. Yeah, I know.
That's Daddy in right there.
Yeah. Well, you know, she's gonna give me grief when I get home. But that's all right.
Oh, I think she actually really appreciates it.
I think so too, and that's the main thing. Again, Prairie Village is Station 2's heart and soul of the district, and they turned out big time this year. And we can't say thank you enough to those guys out there, so we really appreciate that. So we're going to go ahead and go on into our list here. We have two really, don't get choked up now.
You ruined me for the whole thing. I really need a tissue.
I'm sorry. Okay. Well, then we do this for the kids, okay? And, you know, it's really special when we get kids that come out to the fire trucks and they see the fire trucks. We had two special kids this weekend. One was this morning, Jackson Mills. I mean, he was just waiting all week for us. And all he had was a bag of change that he'd been saving up. And he just wanted to give it to us so much. So we went to recognize Jackson. Another little girl, Cheyenne Burton, she had a yard sale yesterday. And everything that she sold in yard sale, all of her stuff was to the Crusade for Children. So she donated everything that she made off her yard sale. So I just want to recognize her as well. So we'll get into some of these businesses. So we got a $50 donation from Ultimate Auto Sales, $50 from Rachel Creation Station. Now Rachel, she really helped us out in her money room. Okay, and Linda also, she's the wife of late Les Bandy, who was on PRP Fire Department. So they helped us tremendously, and I want to thank them for counting all our money. $50 from JM Pawn. We had a donation from Cox's Pharmacy and Variety Value Station. They would like to thank the customers of their change donations throughout the year and the bake sale within the store. And the customers, they raised $846 to all of our customers. Thank you. $1,000 from Phillips Hardware. We had $15 donation from Norma and Kenneth Bratcher in memory of Steve. $25 from Carolyn and Ann and Paula Samuels in memory of Paul L. Samuels. $25 Deborah Stennett in memory of Bonnie Angel. $30 Debbie Hale in memory of Regina and Edgar Hale Jr. $40 Erica Smith. We had $43 from Edward Wise in memory of Betty Jean Wise. $50, these are all $50 donations, there's just so many. Twyla and Danny Van Cook in memory of Dennis C. Munzer, a Vietnam veteran. $50, John and Carla Hogue in memory of John Anson. Sarah Miller in memory of W.L. Miller. George Fodry in memory of George Fodry Sr., Stephen and Lucretia McCauley in honor of Dylan, Mona Phelps in memory of Leo Phelps, Margaret Kaiser in memory of Evan Tennell, Patty and Daryl Alvey in memory of Jim Brightwell, $64 Jamie Dalton in memory of Linda Waltrip Dalton, $100 from Rachel, Patrick, and Ethan Sparks in memory of the former Bullitt County EMA Director, Les Bandy, who was, again, the firefighters on PRP, who was killed in the line of duty in 2015. These are all 100s. Wilford and Susan Coons in memory of Milton Metz. $100 Kentucky Motorcycle Association. $100 in memory of Hilda Steersich. Martin Seidler in memory of his brother Ron. Dr. Deborah Lynn Scott in memory of Charles Dabia Scott. Nicholas and Laura McNeil in memory of Katie McNeil. We miss you very much. Paula Henninger in memory of Billy and Lorraine Henninger. Ann and Norman Hartman in memory of W.L. Miller. Darlene Vincent in memory of Pauline and Debbie Vincent. Paul and Richard Oler in memory of James W. Oler, a deceased South Dixie Fire Marshal, and firefighter James A. Oler from, and also J.W. and Gladys Morris. These are all from their great-grandkids, Calvin and Audrey. We had a $129 donation from Daniel Livers Hurt in memory of James Livers. $125 donation to Crusade Children in honor of Emily Stilwell and the Miracle Dancers. This is a wheelchair group.
We know Miss Emily.
Oh, do you? Okay, great. Raquel Chambers in memory of Hollis Chambers. Josh Holzmeyer in memory of Jerome, Merlene, and Steve Holzmeyer. $200. William and Sandra Mullins in memory of Buddy Webb. $200. Wayne Webb in memory of Buddy Webb. We had $300 donation, Michael and Mary Solly in memory of Agnes Watts. We had a $500 donation from Martin Gilpin in memory of Joyce. And on the way down here, we actually had another $500 donation, which we had to add to the total. So, for Station 2 this year, we were up with those 15 core people. We were up. And our total this year was $26,221.73.
Wonderful for Station 2. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. You know, if somebody's going to make me cry again, I want a heads up. That's all I can say.
Chris Taylor's representing Station 5. We're kind of jumping around on different numbers. Good to see you, Chris.
How's it going, Terry?
All right, brother. What'd you bring us this year?
First of all, we're going to start off with our in memory ofs. $10 in memory from Pat and Angela Muncie for Lucille Baker. Starting $20 in memory of Sophie from Catherine Skaggs. $25 in memory ofs. From Dustin and Hillary Lee in memory of Hillary Shepard, Norma and Bob Gacklin, and a $25 memory of their dad, Richard Lee. From Dan and Linda Shepard in memory of Harold Quiggins, and a $50 in memory of Hillary Shepard and Bob and Norma Gacken. In memory of Gladys Wade from Karen and Michael Wade. In memory of my mother, Dorothy Wolf from Keith and Donna Johnson. Our $50 in memory of Susan May from Troy Clark. Charles and Ann Burris in memory of Angie. In loving memory of Patsy and Benny Phillips from their children Tony and Emily Phillips, and Brandy and Billy Jones, grandchildren Autumn Summer, Trenton, and parents Jackie and Wanda Burchett. We had another $50 donation from an anonymous donor in memory of Herbert and David Harmon. $80 donation from Gerald Sidebottom, Ronnie Sidebottom, and his children Emily and Sam Sidebottom in memory of Nancy Sidebottom. Our $100 in memory of. In memory of Martha, Steve, and Denny Harden, Grandpa and Grandma Taylor, from Chris, Amy, and children. From Lindsay and Tommy Duncan, and girls Olivia McKenna, in memory of Wayne, Betsy, and Jamie Shuffett. Dorothy and Willard David Hood, from Michael Hood. Bill and Becky Hankins, from Peggy and Daniel Lee, and loving memory. Bill was also a former firefighter of PRP, and his wife and family were proud to serve the district as well. $200 in memory of from Maureen Welch, in memory of her mom and dad, Mary and Ray Welch. Station 5 would like to thank the members that came out and volunteered their help with us to collect. We were down in personnel this year and we got off to a rough start late, but we all pulled together and we rallied to get the job well done, thanks to each one of our volunteers. I would also like to especially thank Scoutmaster Patrick Muncie and his wife Angela, Assistant Scoutmaster James Jenkins, and all the boys from Scout Troop 209. These guys are awesome. They came out and helped us for the last 5 years, and we couldn't do it without them. Special thanks to our roadblock crew, especially Tony, Emily, and Ryan. The three of them were relentless in getting everyone out there for us. Thanks to my brother-in-law, Ross Marsh. Ross has been with me all week, and he's been my Johnny-on-the-spot guy. Whatever I need, he's there.
That's a good brother-in-law.
Yeah, he's a great brother-in-law. I also want to send a special thanks to Joe and Laura Wells. These guys at the last minute cut their vacation short and came back and helped us. On our biggest day of door-to-door. We thank you and we love you guys.
That's how we roll in PRP.
Also to my mom, Mary Applegate, my wife, Amy, and Lacey Randolph. I don't know what to say about these ladies. If it wasn't for them keeping us fed and keeping us on schedule, we'd probably still be on the road. We love you all and we are blessed. Lastly, I'd like to make a special mention to a boy that was with us over the weekend, Aaron Saylor. This young man has collected with us all weekend. Aaron was also involved in a terrible accident about 2 years ago while he was exploring like boys tend to do. He fell 20 to 30 foot off the side of a cliff, and he was told that he would never walk again. But he's had a never said die attitude. Started with physical therapy, pulling himself up on a rope, and he was out there helping collect with us the whole week. It may have been difficult on this journey with collecting us. Aaron, job well done. You're an example of what the Crusade does to us about changing lives.
Absolutely.
There's your heads up.
I know, thank you. I need all the warnings I can get.
This year, Station 5 would also like to dedicate our total in honor of Aaron, as well as our Station 5 members of past, present, and future. To our volunteers, family, and friends, all of which are the true bricks and mortar that build the firehouse and make what we do, the Crusade, possible. Station 5's grand total, drum roll please.
But up. There you go, brother man.
$37,774.70.
Oh my God.
All right, $37,774.40 from Station 5. Rachel?
All right, I think we've got Station 7.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead and give me your name first of all.
My name's Mindy Jaggers.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
All right. I appreciate you guys having us all on here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm like, this is a long time for these kiddos to sit, but they're doing very well. They're doing very well. And my new friend Dawson.
Hi, Dawson. This is my friend Easton.
Okay.
Okay, I'm the captain of Station 7, so I'd like to read off some of the donations that we got. These are people that donated $50. Cynthia Fowler, Kathleen and William Steelberg, Kenneth and Pam Hecox, Anna Harrell, Lawrence and Michelle Restrainer, Matthew and Kathleen Daniel, Rob and Melissa Herbert, Guy and Carol Freeman, Marvin and Sharon Fraze, Mark Irwin, Carol and Sylvia Moore, Gregory and Loretta Bott, Orville and Marguerite Houston, Harold and Patricia Finley, and a $60 donation from D.H. Holes Apple. Got a $75 donation from James and Sue Campbell, and a $100.47 donation from Richard Eater. We have $100 donations from the following people: Earl and Kimberly Hartledge, Eric and Missy Duffy, Jay Glenn and Monica McCoy, Eugene and Vicky Constantine, Dale and Patricia Reeder, David and Davetta Cassidy, Jeffrey and Katrina Carter, Sally Powers, James and Barbara Owens, John and Gilsa Willie, Alan and Sylvia Mattingly, Kenneth and Beverly Rogers, Reba Doutrick, Elena Lipmath, Gerald and Kim Tingle, Donna Pace, Bonetta Williams, Stanley Richards, and William and Gina Apple. And we've got a $150 donations from James and Marguerite O'Hara and Glenn and Betty Lewis. We got a $200 donation from William and Cheryl Reisinger, Mark and Cammie Thompson, Betty and Sandra Dawson, Thomas and Irma Brennan, and a $250 donation from Carol Grassage. Now I've got to change papers.
Okay. How you doing? You hanging in there, Dawson?
Yes.
Okay, good.
All right, we have a $10 donation
from Carla and Dennis Frizzell Sr. in memory of Dallas Wright. A $10 donation from Carla and Dennis Frizzell Sr. for Artie Carroll, who is a true crusader on his own. And we've got a $20 donation from Brandon Cochran in memory of Ayanna, Shanita, and Lena Bailey. A $25 donation from Steve and Linda Bybee in memory of Carrie Bybee. $25 donation from Frida James in memory of Riley James. And a $25 donation from Tammy and Stephen Arnold in memory of Joseph. We got a $43.03 donation from the Kirkland family in memory of Ricky Sawyer, thanks to Karen and Glenn Thompson, Stephen, Mildred, and Daniel Kirkman. We got $50 donations from David and Linda Nelly Sr. in memory of Sarah and Ray Gordon, Jean, Ada, Eric, Kenny, Gary, and Uncle Eddie, and a $50 donation from Wayne and Ruby Stone in memory of Mr. and Mrs. Robert Stone, Ray Gordon, and Jean Meredith. We got a $100 donation from James Ray in memory of Leonard and Barbara Ray. $100 donation from Vicky Foley in memory of Larry Foley, who passed away January this year. $100 donation from Teresa Peabody in memory of Patrick Mike Peabody. $100 donation from Portia and Alexis Zipperlin in memory of their dad, Doug Zipperlin. A $100 donation from Robert and Mary Vincent in memory of Robert C. Vincent. $100 donation from the family of Ward Taylor. And a $100 donation from Barbara Houston in memory of Bob Houston. $100 donation from Paul's Cycle Supply in memory of Barbara Barrier and John McCain. $100 donation from Elizabeth Fuchs in memory of Charles Fuchs. $100 donation from the Huff Girls in memory of Granny and Pop Huff. A $200 donation from Kim and Tracy Clark and the kids in memory of Donna and Bob Allgood and Karen Allgood Clark. Got a $325 donation from Margie Bond in memory of Tony Bond. And a big in memory of for $3,383.08 from Gerald King in memory of his loving wife Rita. We also have a $20 donation from Mimi and Paul in honor of Harper Grace. A $25 donation from Gilman Burge in honor of Kim, Lauren, Kara, Gabriel, Logan, Ethan, Max, Cynthia, and Ben. $50 donation from Troy Remines in honor of the former South Dixie Fire Department and the past firefighters. A $64 donation from James and Nancy Tabor in honor of their great-granddaughters, Kara and Patricia. $100 donation from David and Jolene Duffy in honor of our friend on Juneta Lane, Jimmy Ray. $250 donation from Elvis and Donna Vaughn in memory of Abigail Mitchell's first birthday. And a $501.43 donation from Donald and Helen Jupin in honor of thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you do every day and for your crusade efforts.
Very nice. Well, we were noticing that tote board as you're reading has gone over the 4 million mark, Terry Miners. I know you saw that. I know, as we're talking.
More to come.
And I notice every time I go on camera, Dawson gets closer. I thought he was hugging me. I'm going, he just wants to be on camera.
It works, doesn't it, buddy?
Actually, both of those things are true.
There you go. We have a couple people that donated things for us to raffle off to earn money for the kids. So we would like to extend a special thank you to Empire Gas, the district manager, Rhonda Woodford, for donating a gas smoker valuing $100 that was raffled
in memory of Pat Jones, Charles Randall Adwell, and Marina and Sue Adwell. $25 from Christy, Andrew, Nick, Dakota, and Brentley Broughton in memory of James Broughton. $51.17 in memory of the Boomer family. $60 from Emma Jean Graves in memory of Gigi Graves. $100 from Ryan, Allie, Bryson, Laurelie, and Preston in memory of Les Bandy. $100 from Patrick and John Aaron in memory of Frank Works. $100 from Hannelore Ball in memory of James Ball. $100 from Carlos and Keith Hume in memory of Pauline Hume. $100 from Don and Sue Johnson in memory of James and Mary Skis and Harley and Goldie Johnson. $100 from William Hallbauer in memory of Ophelia and John Hallbauer. I challenge my sister and brother to match or beat my donation. We lost my mother this year. She has given every year. $100 from Francis and James Marking in memory of Harris Marking and Newton and Whitaker. $100 from William Harden in memory of Sandra Harden. $100 from Julie Nicholson in memory of William F. Nicholson. $100 from Brenda Mannion in memory of Russell, Rita, Norbert, and Tony Peak. $100 from James and Virginia McAlpine in memory of Susan Hartledge and Barbara Adams. $100 from Brian and Brittany Morgan in memory of Brianna Morgan, our daughter. $100 from James and Virginia McAlpine in memory of Juanita McAlpine. $100 from Dan and Lisa Haller in memory of Chief K. Bach and Captain Jason Bach. $100 from Tony Sturgeon in memory of Mary Ann Warren, Don, Linda Sturgeon, Frank Sumner, Don Fenwick, and Patty Sturgeon. $100 anonymous in memory of James Broughton and Beverly Elder. We love you. That'd be from our Major Joey Elder. $100 from Donna and James Huff in memory of Michael Burke. $100 in memory of grandson Benjamin Clemens. We love you, Grandpa and Grandma. $100 from Bob Lee Motley Sr. Our 7 grandchildren, 14 grandchildren, and 18 great-grandchildren. Wow, that sounds like a Bowman.
Yeah, it does.
No, it sounds like a Bowman family right there. $150 from Michael Miller in memory of Monroe Miller Sr., Dolly Miller, and Michael Miller. $150 from Tiffany and James Smith in memory of Benjamin Clem, Adam Wade Cooley, Robert Smith, and all my grandparents that have passed. $150 from David and Sandra Downey in memory of Becky Reynolds. $150 from Wayne and Sharon McAllister in memory of Jess, Carol, and Larry McAllister. $200 from Jane Gibson in memory of her husband David Gibson. $200 from Mark and Linda Shepard, in memory of Joseph Butch Shepard. $200 from Jim and Sue Pike in memory of former firefighter Chris Pyle. $200 from Deborah and Bradley Smith in memory of Mom and Dad George and Mom and Dad Smith. $200 from Troy Hansen in memory of his grandpa Dan Cook. $200 from Brian, Brittany, and Teresa Morgan and grandkids in memory of Mary Ann, Mimi Morgan. $400 from Larry Fleur, in memory of the 7-year-old boy that was shot. $500 in memory of Doris and Eldon Pretty and Pat and Amy Williams. $600 in memory of the 33,000 killed in action in the Korean War. Now we got a couple of in honors. $25 in honor of our grandkids. In honor, $102.28 in honor of Kenny Russell, Brandon Nick Phelps, and Matthew Doyle, and also in memory of Stacy Richards. $50 in honor of our grandchildren Larry and Patricia Garvin, and $50 in honor of Dallas Wright that passed away this year, and Joe Elder, who has shown kindness this year, from Jenny, Brian, and Mom. Those are our in honors and memories of. And then we have our business donation. John Morris Plumbing donated $130. Larry and Dan Stroud donated $100. Foster and Foster Family Dental donated $500. Kentucky Frame and Axle donated $250. Parker Hannafin donated $1,000. Ideal Machine and Tool donated $200. Woody Auto Sales donated $200. Guest Incorporated donated $5,018.38. Looking over my shoulder. Atlas Machine and Supply donated $1,000. The Mosaic United Church donated $2,226.64. Before I give our total, I want to thank all the hard work that the guys at Station 3 did. We got a lot of new guys that just came out of our recruit class. They made a big impact on what we did this year. They drove a lot of the older guys, got us out there.
Now, Dion, when you say older guys, you don't mean yourself.
Oh yeah, I'm old. I'm right there with them. So yeah,
you
I
mean
get to say
Joe?
one of the older. Joe's an
Leave
ancient
Joe
guy.
alone.
But I want to thank them. I want to thank all the people that came out and helped us this week and collect door to door, because without them we couldn't have done it. I know we say it over and over, but it's the truth. But it's with great pride that the total for Station 3, and thanks to everybody that did it, because it took everybody to do it. Station 3's grand total is $100,680.48.
Wow! That's $100,680.48 out of Station 3.
That's crazy. All right. Now we're going to double team you, Chief.
All right.
Are we at the moment of truth here?
I think we're ready, yes.
Okay, let's get everybody to be quiet, because we're going to have... What now? We're not done. Okay.
Oh, one
Wait
other
a
thing.
second.
One other thing, Chief.
Sorry.
Dion?
Members of Station 3 would like to give you and Rachel a gift. We created some coins this year. They're firefighter coins. They're not Crusade coins, but they're firefighter coins that we had created, that all proceeds went to the Crusade for Children. Every penny went to the Crusade. And all the members of Station 3 have been selling these for about the last 6 months.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Lovely.
And
Thank you.
I will use it to mark a golf ball, and Rachel will use hers to hit me in the head.
I have the better use.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate
Thank
that.
you so much. That's lovely. All right, Chief. Thank you, first of all, for that.
You're welcome.
And now,
All right, I'm ready.
are you ready for the grand total, everybody?
For the 2017 Crusade for Children, the Pleasure Ridge Park Fire District would like to contribute $271,383.69.
From PRP, $271,383.89. Way to go,
Very
Chief.
nice. I think you need to do your cheer now. All right, we ready?
Who are we?
PRP!
Who are we?
PRP!
Who are we?
I knew you needed to do that. Thank you all very much.
Great job, everybody. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you,
We appreciate
Dawson.
you, Vince.
Thank you so much.
Great work. Dump the money there, guys, from Pleasure Ridge Park. Remember, this is the fire department that started the Crusade, bringing the firefighters into this, creating all the competition among fire departments so many years ago, over 60 years ago, and it's changed everything.
Absolutely. We're watching them pour that into the money bowls right there. Amazing total from PRP. My new best friend, Dawson, right
Way to
here.
go. Thank you, Pleasure Ridge Park, and everybody that helped out.
Sweetheart. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Appreciate
let's
it.
go
High
out
fives.
to Robert Bradfield in Corridon.
I'm being joined now by the Lanesville Fire Department, a volunteer fire department here. I'm joined by the chief. Your name for me, sir?
Tony Combs.
Tony, and I see you have a list here in terms of donations and the people that you want to thank as well.
Yes. I've got a relatively short list of some things that I'd like to say. First off, I want to do a shout out to the Lanesville girls softball team and the Lanesville boys baseball team. They're both regional winners. The boys just won last night, so congratulations to them.
Yeah, congratulations.
Unfortunately, that meant that probably about half the town was out of town over the weekend, so we were down a little bit. I think that might have contributed to that, but we still did pretty good.
We got to support the local sports teams.
Exactly. Our school is very important to the town, and it means a lot to us. So we're glad they won. So I also want to do a thank you to all of our firefighters and their families. If it weren't for them out here trying to collect it on these nice hot sunny days, we wouldn't have the money that we collect. So they put out a lot of time and a lot of effort, and their families have to kind of support them doing that. So I want to thank them.
And a couple of them, I'm assuming, are here as well.
Yes, yes. I've got one of my captains here, Rick Burton, one of my firefighters, Ronnie Baumgart, and then our families are with us here as well. So the rest of the guys had stuff going on, so yeah, things are busy.
Understood.
Exactly. I also want to thank Mike and Vicki House. They both help tremendously every year. Mike does a great job of getting all of our money totaled up for me. Usually we print everything out nice and neat so that I can read it off. This year we had a malfunction with our printer, so we're adapting and overcoming, and I'm going to read it off my phone.
On your cell phone, I see there.
Hopefully it'll work. It's kind of hard to see out in the sun, but I want to thank Mike and also his wife Vicki. She gets all of our food for us every year. She does a great job. We eat well. Usually it seems like I gain quite a few pounds every year at this time, so I want to thank them. Also, one of the things we did, we actually done, this is the second year for it now, the Butch Stilgar Memorial 4-miler. Butch Stilgar was one of our past firefighters. He passed away a few years ago. He was heavily involved with the Crusade. I think from when he was started on the fire department until he passed away, he was always down there every year helping out, even after he retired. And he just did a lot over the years to help us out. So the Crusade was really special to him. And so his family got together and did put together a memorial 4-miler run, and all the proceeds of that come to us to include in our total. So
well, let me know about that next year. I'll take part in that.
Okay, sounds great. We'd love to have you. And I got a little thing here to read off of that. Chuck Stilgar, who organizes that, wasn't here this year, so he said this year was the second annual Butch Stilgar Memorial Run on May 20th. Celebrates Ronald Butch Stilgar's legacy, but also all the firefighters, police, and service members that have passed on. And the Stilgar family wants to give a special thanks to the Lanesville Police Department and the Lanesville Volunteer Fire Department for helping out during that. And also they want to thank their sponsors for helping them put on that run on as well, because if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't be able to do this. Those sponsors are Carpe Vita, New Attitudes, Benton's Fine Jewelry, Pacers and Racers, Hogs Tavern, and Foot First Podiatry. So last year, like I said, was the first year for that Memorial 4-miler. They were able to raise $1,228. This year they were able to better that. They had a lot more people sign up. They had didn't have quite as many conflicting events going on the week they held it, and they were able to collect $1,735.
So an increase there of about $500.
About $500, which was great. Hopefully, over the next few years, as it becomes more well known, we'll get a few more people and a little bit more money for the Crusade.
Good deal.
All right. So with
you want
that,
me to hold the paperwork, or
I'll hang on to it. It helps me see this, I think, maybe. All right, I've got a list of some restaurants that provides the food for us every year. I'd like to thank them because again, if it weren't for them, we would be hungry, and we don't go hungry, that's for sure. Lee's Famous Recipe here in Cordon, White Castle here in Cordon, Cracker Barrel in Cordon, Texas Roadhouse in Clarksville, the Dock Seafood in New Albany, and they've actually been donating food for us for the last 20 years. So we would like to thank Rocky especially for everything that they've done for us over these years. We get a lot of great food from them, a lot of great fish. Honey Baked Ham in New Albany, Olive Garden in Clarksville, Cluckers here in Cordon, and O'Charlie's here in, O'Charlie's in Clarksville. And also Terry Wagner, she's a local State Farm agent at Highlander Point. She donates a lot of money and a lot of items for us too to help out for this weekend, so we want to thank her. All right, as I said before, our Butch Stilgar Memorial Run raised $1,735. I got a list here of some in memories of and in honor of that I'd like to go through. First one's Mike, Vicki, and Sarah House in memory of Joshua and Mildred House and Carter Kuhn, $1,000. Dr. John and Vicki Florence in memory of Bill and Grace Murphy, $1,000. The Lanesville Community School family in memory of Peggy Pickerel, $300. Knights of Columbus, Pope John II Council in memory of Bob Ruckner, $300. Lanesville Heritage Weekend in memory of all the deceased Lanesville firefighters, $250. Carrie and Jason Simler in honor of their daughter Ava Simler, who was a Crusade baby, $200. John Hall and Sons, $200. In memory of Jenna Baumgart, $200. Esther Blank in memory of Chester Blank and Joshua House, $200. Clarence House in memory of Mildred, Joshua, Charles, and Aline House, $100. Mike, Vicky, and Sarah House in memory of Lori Gersmead, John Deming, Paul House, and Bruce Corby, $100. Richard and Rebecca Mingus in memory of Ruby and J.D. Hardsaw, $100. Four Seasons Property Service, $100. Sandy Watson in memory of Bob Shorty Schaefer, who died on July 10th of 2016, $100. Jeff and Terry Gayhart in memory of Bob Shorty Schaefer, $100. Damon Grant in memory of Bob Shorty Schaefer, $100. Otis and Myra Kerr in memory of Martha, Kenneth, Ruth, and Darlene Kerr, $100. Cheryl and Timothy Winning in honor of 11 grandchildren, $100. Doris and Ronnie Lind and family in memory of Crystal Wilson, Georgia and Carl Whitehouse, Pauline and Clarence Lind, Jennifer Wilson, Alan Wilson, and Bill Mannix, $100. Hilda Robinson and Rose Lieber in memory of Walter Robinson. Tammy Smith in memory of Destiny Marie Sissel, $100. Jim and Mary Walter in honor of John and Nancy Walter, $100. Michael, Jonathan, and Elizabeth Combs in memory of Grandpa Zeke Combs, $100. The Lanesville Food Mart in memory of Butch Stilgar, $100. Charles and Martha Harris in memory of Edward Carlisle and Mary Quiberman, $75. The Zerschmead Gun Company in memory of Lori Zersmead, $50. Harold and Gisela Baker in memory of Bob Ruckner, $50. Frank and Annette Price in memory of Butch Stilgar, $50. Richard and Janice Parsons in memory of Peggy Pickerel, $50. Ellis and Sharon Edwards in memory of Pat Fanmiller, $50. Evelyn Underwood in memory of James Bringman, $50. Greener Electrical Services in memory of Courtney Greener Sr., $25. Donald J. Hussong in memory of Jan Hussong, $25. And another in memory of Butch Stilgar. And almost forgot one. George Groot in memory of Amanda, $15. We also collect money from all of our area churches, and those are a big part of our total every year, so we like to read them off in thanks. St. John's Lutheran Church in Lanesville, $2,104.91. St. Mary's Catholic Church, $2,856.51. And Lanesville United Methodist Church, $100. We also have a small collection box that we keep at the Lanesville Food Mart year-round for people to throw money in. That netted us $215.84. And then this year, we always, in addition to our roadblocks, we also go do a door-to-door. Thanks to a couple of other departments that kind of snuck into our area a little bit. We didn't get as much off of that as we normally do, but that's all right. We did all right. $516.86. So,
do we have a grand total?
We have a grand total. We are down just a little bit from last year, but we still did wonderful because last year was a record year, I believe, for us. So last year's total was $18,282.38. This year, like I said, we're down just a little bit, but this year's total for the Lanesville Volunteer Fire Department was $17,006.06.
So $17,006.06.
Yes, that's it.
I know you're a volunteer fire department, but as the chief, I'm sure that's got to make you feel good here, knowing that you have such a large donation base.
It feels wonderful. The Lanesville community has always been great. They're very supportive of a lot of different causes, and the Crusade is one that's near and dear to their hearts. So we want to thank them all for all their donations.
Well, $17,006.06 is quite a lot.
Yeah, we think so. We really are appreciative of everything.
Well, we appreciate your time as well, and I'm going to get these guys here to pour the money in here. Keep pouring. There's a lot of change in there. You said it was heavier than you thought.
Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding.
There you go. Well, thank you again for all of your donations. And again, thank you for the Chiefs' time as well. You can still donate, and it is toll-free if you call 1-866-885-1848. You can also donate online at WHAScrusade.org, or you can mail in your donation at 520 West Chestnut Street. That's Louisville, Kentucky, 40202. You can also watch by going online at WHAS11.com. And for those of you who use social media, you can, of course, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And then, of course, download the Crusade app from your app store. Again, we want to say thank you to all of those who donated, because you are really changing a child's life. We're going to send it back to you, but I'm Robert Bradfield for the WHAS Crusade for Children.
Robert, you're doing nice work out there. We appreciate that. And Father Joe Graffis, of course, is a big part of helping the Crusade throughout the year. One of the reasons that happens is because Archbishop Kurtz allows that. Hey, Archbishop, good to see you as
Terry,
always.
it's always good to see you. Thank God for the Crusade, but also thank God that you're part of it.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate that immensely. Joe does such great work for us.
He sure does.
We appreciate that. You know how difficult that must be for the whole crew to decide where all this money goes.
That's correct.
Breaks your heart that you don't have more to give, right, Joe?
$13 million worth of requests this year, and hopefully we'll be close to $6 million this year.
There you go.
Well, we're proud of Father Joe. I mean, he's doing this all as a volunteer, and thank God for that for years.
I happen to notice that Dr. Brian Reynolds is with us today instead of my pastor, Mark Spalding.
He's baptizing.
I'm standing in for Father Mark, but I'm not Father Mark.
Okay, that's quite all right. You can do a capable job, but I will make sure that I see him later.
He never wears red.
I never. Pentecost, Father. It's Pentecost.
That's right. It is Pentecost.
He has a tough time with red vestments. He's a serious UK fan is all we're talking about here. Again, thank you. We appreciate the Archbishop's connection to the Crusade for Children.
Terry, I'm delighted. And you know, we have 110 parishes that stretch all the way down to the Tennessee border, and every parish contributes and participates. So we're proud of that. There's a nice spirit of competitiveness, which I think is also good, but it's competitiveness because we love to serve the kids, the young people who are so much in need of services and who have a whole life ahead of them. So I love the Crusade.
It's a wonderful archdiocese we have here, but the Archbishop matters in that you keep the green light on for us, and thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Dr. Reynolds, do you have a list? Did you bring a list in today? I'm going to slide around here if you don't mind here, Archbishop. And I will say hi to Brian here, and we'll see who donated what from each parish.
Wait till you see your own parish.
Holy Trinity?
Holy Trinity.
Oh, I'm pumped. I'm ready.
All right, ready? Here we go. Okay, it's a long list here. All Saints in Taylorsville, 1,385. Annunciation in Shelbyville, 1,671. Ascension Parish, 4,270. Cathedral of the Assumption, 3,165. Christ the Healer down in Edmonton, Kentucky, 56. Christ the King in Louisville, 200. Christ the King in Tompkinsville, 80. Epiphany Parish, 3,975. Good Shepherd Parish, 811. Guardian Angels Parish, 1,080. Holy Family Parish, 2,837. Holy Name, 300. Holy Rosary Manton, 353. Holy Rosary Springfield, 275. Holy Trinity Louisville, okay, the second highest in Jefferson County.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, $14,000 even.
Way to go, Holy Trinity.
Wow. Now, Holy Trinity in Washington County, the Burg, with only 300 or so households, they got number 3 outside Jefferson County with 4,298.
Way to go, another Holy Trinity.
That's right. Immaculate Conception LaGrange, 7,301, and they're the second highest outside Jefferson County. Incarnation, 3,834. Mary Queen of Peace, 4,299. Most Blessed Sacrament, 2,684. Our Lady of Lourdes, 5,735. Our Lady of Mercy in Hodgenville, 237. Our Lady of Mount Carmel and St. Thomas More came together, 972. Our Lady of Perpetual Help in Campbellsville, 466. St. Agnes, 5,490. St. Albert the Great, third highest in Jefferson County, 11,372.
St. Matthew's is rocking.
Absolutely. St. Aloysius in Pee Wee Valley, 2,845. St. Aloysius in Shepherdsville, 711. St. Ambrose in Cecilia, Kentucky, 2,041. St. Anne's in Howardstown, 175. St. Athanasius, 4,992. St. Augustine in Louisville, 304. St. Augustine in Lebanon, 2,374. St. Bartholomew, 3,329. St. Bernadette, 7,226. St. Bernard's Louisville, 4,821. St. Bridget Louisville, 1,405. St. Bridget in Vine Grove, 2,100. St. Charles and St. Mary's, Kentucky, 548. St. Christopher's Radcliffe, 1,055. St. Dominic Springfield, 1,150. St. Edward's, Father Joe's former parish, 6,567.
Outstanding.
St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, 1,675. St. Francis of Rome, 3,995. St. Francis of Assisi, 2,484. St. Francis Xavier Mount Washington, 2,600. St. Gabriel, 6,381. St. Gregory's and Samuel's, 2,108. St. Ignatius Martyr, 1,015. St. Ignatius in White Mills, 805. St. James in Louisville, 1,209. St. James in Elizabethtown, the number one from outside Jefferson County, 9,199.
Yay, St. James E-Town.
St. John Chrysostom in Eminence, 557. St. John Paul II, 8,174. St. John the Apostle in Brandenburg, 1,458. St. John the Baptist in Rhineyville, 875. St. Joseph Louisville, 1,019. St. Joseph Proto-Cathedral in Bardstown, 4,233. St. Lawrence, 3,182. St. Leonard's, 2,906. St. Louis Bertrand, 5,000. St. Luke's, 100. St. Margaret Mary, 10,667. St. Martin de Porres, 115. St. Martin of Tours, Louisville, 760. St. Martin of Tours in Vine Grove, 1,207. St. Mary Magdalene in Painville, 637. The number one parish in Jefferson County, St. Michael's, again, $21,000.
Wow, that's fantastic.
St. Michael's Fairfield, 451. St. Monica's Bardstown, 406. St. Patrick's, 2,671. St. Paul's, PRP area, not just out of here, 2,999. St. Peter the Apostle, 3,672. St. Raphael's, Father Joe's present parish.
Da-da-da.
A big jump over there last year. St. Raphael's, 6,029.
Good work, Joe.
St. Rita's, 2,270. St. Stephen Martyr, 4,990. Your home parish.
That's right. That's where I grew up. St. Stephen Proto-Martyr.
Okay. St. Teresa Calcutta, 699. St. Teresa's Rodelia, 241. St. Therese, 300. St. Vincent de Paul, New Hope, 265. St. William, 1,610. And St. Simon and Jude, 879. And you get the honors.
Fantastic.
Wow.
And the Catholic Church, through social services, does so much too. It's just another testament to the hard work that the Archdiocese does.
Thanks, Terry.
And all kinds of different things we do throughout the year, but this is big.
Terry, I like to say that the Archdiocese is 110 parishes helping one another, but today it's 110 parishes helping the Crusade.
We
love it too. I mean, you can see every gift that was given, whether it was down in Tompkinsville or in your home parish. They're all such important gifts for us, and they're a way for all of us to be proud of the work that the Crusade does.
Well, we're happy that we're part of the family. It moves me when I hear the priests say that we're going to collect for an important cause, and it's the Crusade for Children. People just start reaching, and here we are.
And you know what? I'm going to give you the number. You probably want to know the number, but I have to say this too. We have a number of parishes that are saying, you know, we're going to be getting more money. So what I'm giving you is not even the final word, so to speak, but it's a great word. So are you interested?
I am interested. Archbishop Kurtz, for the 64th WHAS Crusade for Children, what is the total from the Archdiocese of Louisville?
The total this year, $290,998. Wow.
Is that our all-time record?
Wow, it's near it.
It's got to be near our all-time record.
It's near it.
$290,998. You rock,
You give me
Archbishop.
$2 more.
I got it.
All right.
Well, now
let's make it $291.
291,000 from the Catholic Church. We have some impressive numbers to reflect back to you, Archbishop. Dawn?
Oh my gosh, with this donation this year, the Catholic Archdiocese has totaled over $8 million.
Oh my God.
Yay!
Wow. Wow. So that's beautiful.
That's remarkable.
You know what? It has to reach back to Archbishop Kelly and so many people who have just made a commitment and really built a foundation so that people who are moving into Kentucky and are becoming part of our parishes, they say, I want to be part of the crusade. So I didn't know it was going to be that much, though. Wow. Thank you, Don. Thank you for all that you all do to serve so many people throughout the year. I thank Father Joe and the staff. You all do just a super job. Thank you.
Okay, all time, more than $8 million from the Archdiocese of Louisville. Thank you, Dr. Reynolds.
Wow.
Thank you, Father Graffas. Thank you, Archbishop Kurtz.
I get to keep this?
You do get to keep this. Why don't we, gentlemen, read the new tote board total, please? Altogether, thus far, for the Crusade for Children, we have $4,611,892.89.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Archbishop.
Terry. Thank you.
All
Great
right.
to be with you.
We're honored to have you. Thank you so much, Rachel Platt.
That was mighty impressive. That's all I can say. We're sitting over here speechless. Congratulations. That is a tough act to follow, but it doesn't mean your heart isn't in the right place.
We've carried over $8 million off the stage. How's that?
That's right, because we are talking about the money handlers here. They have a very important job, as we know here, during the WHAS Crusade for Children. So tell us a little bit about what it is you all do. Then I want everybody to introduce themselves here.
Well, back when all the fire departments used to come down here and dump all the money in them little fish bowls, we were the ones that got to carry it to the back and empty them, come back empty to fill them back up. So we had a tough day. That took its toll at the end of the day on your hands and your shoulders. So that's what we've done. It's slacked up a whole lot, but we would still do it with pride if it happened again today. So.
Now tell about how many people work as money handlers here.
Oh, at one time the walls were full, just lined on both sides while the studio was going on. So at one time, I guess there was probably 25, 30 people down here doing it. And we've dwindled down. Some come during the morning and leave, and then some in the afternoon, and some are here up till the end. So we keep a few good hands, strong backs here just in case.
All right, I'm going to have everybody say their name, okay?
I'm Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Steve.
Paul Holt.
Gene Smith. Robert Smith.
We talked about certain names. Some of you all have had other family members do this, right? It's kind of a family tradition?
Yeah, my brother's got me involved in it, and this is just a friend I used to work with. We got the Smith down on the end. His dad used to run the money handlers, and then Henry's son helped do the same. And I don't know where Gene come in.
My mom worked at the Courier.
Okay.
Your mom worked at the Courier, so everybody
This is a
knew.
nephew of a money handler, a grandson.
And grandson, see? We've passed the torch down to you. We're thrilled you're here. All right, tell us a little bit about your donation.
I've got two in memories. I have one for Mid and Earl Bullard with Kay Phillips. Then I have a $500 memory from them. $500 memoriam for Kay Phillips. And then we standing here a while ago while we was waiting to go on air, we get another $20. So we got $230 from just the group
Just
here
being
today.
right here. So your total then?
We've got $1,230 just to drop off.
Nice for our money handlers. Thank you. And one thing I wanted to do, just a quick shout out for you. This is your 40th year doing this. You haven't missed one,
I
right?
haven't missed a row.
And you've got a personal struggle going on right now in the middle of chemotherapy, but it was important for you to be here today.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss this for the world. And they did an interview with me earlier, and it's just, they said, why are you here? I said, if you can't take an hour, a day out of your year to do something like this, you really don't know what you're missing. So here I stand, and hopefully I'll be here again next year for 41.
Well, we hope so too, and good luck in your battle.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you so much. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. For our money handlers, come on in here, because Terry, there's a special one that I want you to read, and then I've got to talk to Dawn about something as well. But yeah, you all, thank you all so much. You all, oh, I'll give that back to you.
He's very good about accounting, about remembering all the
He's like,
papers.
give me my paper, Rachel. Okay.
Now, Rachel and Dawn, these names pop up sometimes and you think, what does that say on it? And you know what? I know this one plainly. This is in memory of Mary Swan from her loving husband and daughters. And the donation is from a certain Melissa Swan, whom we love. Thank you so much for such a generous donation to the Crusade for Children. We miss you and love you, Melissa Swan.
Absolutely, and I want to let you know, her mother was such a lovely spirit. So this is just a beautiful donation, and I know Melissa and all of her sisters miss their mama a whole lot.
You betcha. And it's so great that people honor family, but especially from you, Melissa. You worked so hard on this crusade, and we know your spirit's still here in the room with us, so we miss you.
Absolutely. You know, we had talked about Milton Metz. You're wearing something today because I woke up today and I said, you know, I have to bring this out. And this is in memory of Phyllis Knight. And this is something that she owned, and she was a past director as well. And I said, when she passed away, her lovely family gave me this. I'd gotten to know Phyllis, and they gave Doug a stopwatch. So I said, would you wear that today?
And it has been so special because this weekend always reminds you of how important the legacy is that makes this crusade what it is today. And we have been built on a fabulous legacy. And Phyllis Knight was truly one of the great movers and shakers that made it what it is. And the things that she did that laid the groundwork, I am so forever grateful.
Absolutely. So from me, in honor of Phyllis, this is for her, so I'll hand that to you. Thank you so much. But I said, we've got to get that out and wear that today. Very good. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
See, we all do donate in there, too.
Are we running over there?
We did.
Oh, no. We're going to go to
I put my check in the Holy Trinity bucket because people always wonder, do they donate? Yes, we all
Well,
donate.
let me tell you, the Archdiocese, good.
Wasn't that remarkable?
I know it.
291,000. Pretty strong.
Yeah, pretty strong, to say the least. I know you were rooting for your parish there.
I was. Holy Trinity, you rock.
Well, and Father Joe, he pulled it out too. Got his church to really step up there.
Right.
No kidding.
Keep calling us. There's still time for you to donate. 571-2345 or toll free 866-885-1848. Let's go now to Corridon. Here's Robert Bradfield.
We are here with the Harrison Township Fire Department in the parking lot again of the Corridon Walmart. You guys have been out here all day. We do appreciate your time here with us. You have some names and donations, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we do, as always. First off, we'd like to thank the community. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do this. And starting off the list here, I got $10, Linda C. Wiseman, $20, James and Jacqueline Davison, Lawrence and Mary Hadley, $20 each in memory of Fred Ayers, Barbara Timberlake, Ralph Buster Timberlake, all from Robin Harmon, Joanna and Justin Crawford, Patricia and Larry Seacat.
And give us your name, too.
My name is Tyler.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Tyler.
No problem.
I want to give you a shout out.
Thank you. 25 from Elizabeth and Charles Kramer, Oak Capital Barbershop, Michael and Janet Frederick, Barbara Jean Mathis, Deborah Mathis, Heather Clooney, Donald and Teresa Long, Jana Frederick, Ian and Sarah Daughtry. 25 from Fairview Homemakers Club in memory of Fred Chin Sr. and John E. Mueller. Windy.
Yeah, we don't want to miss a page here.
Oh, that'd be bad. $50 at Bickle's Farm, David and Elizabeth Bickle, Melvin and Sharon Shoemaker, David and Diane Reed in memory of daughter Angela Reed Lowe, Dale and Karen Lopp in memory of George Hannell, Kathy Schaffer, Sharon Mazzell, David and Lindy Willits, Randall and Ashley Crozier in memory of Grayson Phillips, $62 from Floyd and Shirley Beanblossom, $60 from Roger and Kimberly Stewart, $75 Dale and Diane Bryant, Phyllis, $100 Larry Harmon, Roger and Patricia Timberlake, Melissa D. Wright, Michael and Joan Wright, Alvin and Joyce Smith, Deborah Hendricks, Steve and Barbara Priest, Sean and Linda Showalter, Robert and Brenda Bousman, Charles and Betty Tyndall from the Best family, $100 in memory of Lionel and Rosemary Leake, $100 in memory of Bob Pruitt, $130 in memory of Richard Best from the Tyndall Small Engine and the Best family. We got $150 Forrest and Nancy Timberlake, and also as well as Beef O'Brady's accordion. $200 Claude and George Ann Watson, E&B Manger, the Vectron Energy Foundation, John and June Purcell in memory of Jason and Carrie Ruth Purcell, Thomas and Phyllis Tucker, and IMI Concrete. $220 from Clucker's Accordion, $250 Corden Christian Church, and $500 in memory of Jay Goodman. And we also like to thank to our anonymous donor of $5,000 as well.
Wow, so an anonymous donor out there probably watching gave that donation of $5,000.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with all this totaling together, we have a grand total of $21,058.39.
That does deserve a round of applause as well. Say that total one more time.
$21,058.39.
Very good. Are you ready to lift the $21,000 here? Let's see. The sound that we like. Thank you again for all of those involved, and we do appreciate your time sticking around with us here for the Crusade. He's donating some more. There we go. Thank you, sir. And again, you can still donate here at 1-866-885-1848. You can also donate online at WHAScrusade.org, or you can mail in those donations at 520 West Chestnut. That's Louisville, Kentucky 40202. You can also watch by going online right now at WHAS11.com, or you can follow us using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And then, of course, download the Crusade app on your app store. And again, you are changing the lives of children here throughout Kentuckiana. So we do want to say thank you to all of those who donated here in southern Indiana and throughout Kentuckiana as well this year. I'm Robert Bradfield for the WHAS Crusade for Children. We're going to send it back to you.
It's all good. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Robert. You're doing a nice job out there in the hot sun. We're in the air conditioning. It feels good. Chief Pat Walsh is here with McMahon Fire District. Good to have you here, Chief.
Hi, Terry.
Welcome. It's nice to be in the AC, right? And
yes,
it's not 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's not 2 o'clock in the morning. We were talking about that earlier, the old days of being down in the basement until 2 a.m. to get on TV.
It's like a monster movie.
Man, this is much better. And all the food's still there, too. So
all right, tell me about your year this year.
Well, we've had a good year. It's been a good weather year. I was talking to Reed yesterday at the remote. We were kind of nervous. Originally, they said it was going to be storming on Saturday, but that all changed. So we had great weather. We had a great year. We had a lot of people out helping us, and we had a very successful year. So
Reed blamed that on Ben Pine.
Did he really?
He said Ben Pine's early projection was moved.
Hey, I'm going to stay out of the middle of that.
That's right. Good call.
I'm not going to get in the middle of that. But yeah, we've had a great year so far. So I'm going to go ahead and just get started. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the firefighters, support team members, board members, supporters, and all of our families. Without their support, we would not be successful in achieving our goal. We have such an awesome group of families, friends, and supporters of McMahon that show up every day in full force to help with our campaign. They were there for us every day, collecting, counting money, preparing food, or helping with the cleanup. We collected door to door for almost 2 weeks, so a big thanks to all the children and friends who made that possible. I want to offer a special thanks to each and every one of them for the assistance this year. Without them, this would not have been possible. They worked tirelessly each day with the sole purpose of helping the children with special needs in Kentuckiana. We have such a caring and giving community that we protect and serve, and without their generosity, we would not have been successful as we are each year. First of all, obviously it takes a lot of food to feed everyone, so I'd like to real quickly thank all those who donated food to take care of us during those 2 weeks. First of all is FDKY Barbecue in J-Town, Arby's, Hooters in DuPont, Aspen Creek, McAllister's Deli, Cafe at Main Street, Dean Foods, McDonald's, Famous Dave's, Pizza Place Hikes Point, Rallies, Heine Brothers Coffee, Shack in the Back Barbecue, Skyline Chili, Kroger, Smoky Bones, Taco Bell, White Castle, Cisco, Paul Davis Restorations, and Target in J-Town. We have all those on the signs, but I see my granddaughter's, she thinks it's
moving
a puzzle to take
yeah,
so she's rearranging the signs there as we speak. I'd also like to thank Paul Davis Restoration and Scott Mailing and Shipping for their sponsorship of our Crusade Letter campaign. They donated the money and postage to pay for the supplies to mail out our Crusade letters, and that's a big part of our campaign every year. So without them, this would not have been possible. I'd also like to give a special thanks to the Speedway at Hikes Lane and Breckenridge. They always allow us to, for the last 20 plus years, to set up there, and I know we're probably somewhat of a burden to them to park all of our trucks and stuff there, but they've been gracious. I'd also like to thank Safety Co. for giving us the cones that we use for that. We also had DJ equipment provided by Plum Crazy Sound, so we had a sound system going yesterday. Everybody was dancing out in the street. It makes it more fun. It makes the day go by faster.
Plum Crazy.
Plum Crazy. It's actually one of our firefighters owns a DJ service. And, now for the fun part. For the last 2 weeks, we've been out there collecting early in the morning until late in the evenings, beating the street or going house to house, knocking on doors. We have some names that we'd like to mention. We're also scrolling names across the bottom of the screen as we're talking, so hopefully we've got everybody.
That person you just saw on the top of your truck on the left is Heather Fontaine,
awesome.
she came on the air at 11:30 last night. She's still at it. That's her riding on the front of your truck.
Looks like she's, and by the way, that's a brand new truck we just put in service 2 weeks ago.
All right.
It's an awesome new look for McMahon. It still has the traditional look of the white trucks, but it's got kind of a red top.
There's Heather on the left.
Yeah, she looks like she's a natural. Maybe we should recruit her, get her to come out and be part of the fire department. So I'm going to go ahead and read some checks, some donations. As I mentioned, our checks are very strong. It's a big part of what we do. So without these folks making it possible, we wouldn't be able to deliver the kind of money that we do. First of all, I'd like to thank Cayena Charities, Inc. It's the Cayena Car Club. That's an antique auto club that they have a swap meet every year. They gave $12,500. I'd also like to recognize William Holton and Mariah Ogilvie. In memory of William K. Holton, they donated $10,000. Wow. That is an amazing donation.
Incredible.
Carl Casper donated $5,400. They came out yesterday to the roadblock and presented that. I thought that was really neat as well.
For all those years of shows.
That's right. And then also William Holton and Mariah Ogilvie, $2,000 in memory of Joseph Johnson, who's our former chief who died last year from cancer. Hikes Point Optimist Club, $2,000. The Louisville Lodge 8 BPO Elks Club, $1,800. Brownsboro Hardware, $1,750. Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth Pankey Sr., $1,500. Kentucky Theta 80K, $1,010. Nancy Walsh, $1,000 in memory of Jim Walsh. Mike and Stephanie Goodrow, $1,000. Doo-Wop Enterprises, $1,000 as well. McMahon Group, Roy Hunt, $1,000. Lynn and Gwen Harpering, $1,000. Miss Rebecca Belt, $950. Miss Helen Custer, $800. John and Bonnie Truax and Mike, $800. My granddaughter knows that she's distracting me right now. She thinks it's funny.
She's cute.
Yes, she is. Mike and Mary, John and Bonnie Truax, $800. Mike and Mary Beth Harlemert, $1,600 in loving memory of Grandpa Alan Goss. Miss Judy Harden, $750. Miss Margaret Ellaby, $700. Mr. and Mrs. David Effinger, $600. Ruth and Michael Goss, $600 in memory of Kiko T. Hensley and Alan Goss. These are $500 donations. Mr. and Mrs. Kurt Gracer, $500. Mr. William Sears Jr., John Reeser, Dr. Forrest Kuhn, Breckenridge Inn, Linda and Reuben Corbett in memory of Doty. These are $400 donations. Miss Jacqueline Wilson, $400. Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Ball, $400. $350 donations were Mr. and Mrs. Steve Hyman, Mr. and Mrs. James Garrett, Mr. and Mrs. Harlan Beckmeyer. Let's go to the next page here. I don't have to worry
It's a
about
happy granddaughter you
the
have.
camera isn't even on us because it's probably on her the whole time.
It
which
is.
fine.
She's very happy.
That's perfectly fine. She was cranky till we got up here. Sudie Foreman until $350 from the Foreman family in memory of Major Frank Foreman Jr., past Assistant Chief of McMahon Fire Department. $325 from Mr. and Mrs. Philip McDaniel. $300 donations are Larry and Dodie Searcy, honoring Austin and Hunter Searcy. Mr. and Mrs. Otto Kohler Jr., $300. Mr. Michael Summers, Mr. and Mrs. Charles Heitmiller, Miss Catherine Witherington, Albert and Mary Catherine Edwards, Mr. John Balkunas, Mr. and Mrs. James Vowles, Mr. and Mrs. Bill Gooden, Mr. David Wonderland, Claudia Schindler, Monique and Lawrence Shaughnessy, Adrian Cole, Thomas and Connie Coyne, Walsh Brothers Lawn Care. These are the $280 from Mr. and Mrs. William Stouffer. These are the $250 donations. We have a lot of checks here, so I apologize, but I want to make sure we recognize everyone. Miss Jacqueline Logsden and Grace Bryan, Mr. and Mrs. Thomas Hodges, Miss Susan Law, Susan Ward, Mr. and Mrs. Tom Stearman, Miss Linda Gibson, Miss Mary Falk, Thomas Booser, American Break Centers, C.A. Stefan, Mr. Jeff Fouché, Paul and Teresa Bonifer, and Robert Kirtzinger in memory of Martha Kirtzinger. William and Lois Hall gave $220. These are $200 donations. Kirsten and Kenny Ambach in memory of Joseph Johnson Jr. and Joseph Johnson III. Robert and Rebecca Picklesheimer in memory of Kenneth and Ryan Picklesheimer. Wayne and Lois Bishop in memory of Velman Dupin Goodman. Sarah, Scott, Rihanna, and Brennan Stevenson in loving memory of Jim Walsh. Joyce and Dennis Cardwell, $200 in memory of Joe Johnson Jr., Joe Johnson III, and Ida Joe Cardwell. And I want to mention, you'll see those names a few times. We had Chief Johnson, who was retired from McMahon. He lost his battle with cancer last fall. He also lost his father the next month after that, and his grandmother. So within that 3 month, or within about 3 month period, they suffered a lot. So that's why you see a lot of memories. Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Schweitzer, $220. Mr. and Mrs. David Mears, Paul Yates, Mr. and Mrs. Louise Chase, Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth Reed, Miss Vicki Futrell, Highlands Funeral Home, Miss Connie Fondong, Greater Louisville Koi and Goldfish, Mr. and Mrs. Gerald Metzmeyer Sr., Mr. Robert C. Armbruster Jr., Susan Epperson, Granville and Sandra King, Holly Haynes, Keith Hubbs, Ann Yates, John and Beverly Coulter, Dennis and Luann Shaw, Richard Gribbins, Mr. and Mrs. Michael Kays gave $190 in memory of Bud Burke and Mildred Owen. David and Sandra Johnson, $150 in memory of Joseph Johnson Jr. and Joseph Johnson III. Miss Bobby Duvall, $150 in memory of Mary Alice Kirkland. Barbara Werner, $150 in memory of Robert Werner. Mr. and Mrs. Wayne Walker, G. Wayne Walker, in honor of George and Mary Walker. Miss Susan Hutenlocker, in memory of husband Dietrich Hutenlocker. Miss Patricia Walker, $125 in memory of W.L. Walker. Earth First of Kentuckiana, Mr. and Mrs. Mark Reinerson, Mr. and Mrs. Robert Andrews, Mr. and Mrs. William Hancock, Miss Jenny Niermeyer. Earth First of Kentuckiana again, John and Janet Noon, $150. Mr. and Mrs. Frank DeSanto, Mr. and Mrs. Charles Knights, and Mr. and Mrs. Michael Oswine. And I'm going to take a break here and turn it over to Wayne, Chaplain Bishop, and he's going to read some more.
Hello, Chaplain Bishop.
Terry, good to
Welcome.
see you.
Good to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you. These will be the $100 donations. First, in memory of Mr. and Mrs. John P. Walsh, in memory of Jim Walsh and Brian Walsh. Glenn Hunt, in memory of Bob Hunt and Steve Stuckey. Scott and Janet Floor, in memory of Ed and Lou Floor. Ruth Cobb, in memory of husband. John and Denise Walsh, in memory of Jim Walsh. Timothy Walsh, in memory of Jim Walsh. Helen Crawford, in memory of Joe Johnson. Christopher and Nancy Burchar, in memory of Leo Craigs. Kenneth and Wanda Hassel, in memory of Leo Craigs. Mildred and Gary Conway, in memory of Polk and Taylor Michael. Mrs. Norma Pennington, in memory of Charles Pennington. Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Seabury, in memory of Gray Seabury. Kathleen Powell, in memory of J.L. Johnson Sr. and J.L. Johnson III. Mary J. Bickett, in memory of Jim Walsh, my brother. James M. Taylor, in memory of Linda Taylor. Denise S. Zukoff, in memory of Marty Zukoff. Wally Wallingford, in memory of Sarge and Margaret Wallingford. Mrs. Pamela M. Berry, in memory of husband Earl Berry Jr., who served as a photographer while our eldest son was a volunteer at McMahon. Mrs. Clara Isaac, in memory of my husband David Isaac. Bader Music Village, in memory of Robert Bailey. Miss Virginia L. Straw, in memory of Martha Chin. Nobody can top that, can they? I'm just glad we don't have a dog also. We would never get through this.
She's quite an entertainer.
She really is. Chip off the well, never mind. Now, where was I? Miss Sherry L. South, in memory of Norma Wissing. Elizabeth Atcher, in memory of Randy Atcher. Ann Tabor, in memory of George and Helen Ellis. William and Mary Beth Fink, in memory of Ray Westenhofer Sr. And these are $100 donations in honor of Kenneth and Wanda Hassel, in remember of our daughter Karen, in honor of our daughter Karen. Robert and Terry Bennett, in honor of Ryan Bennett. Mr. and Mrs. Harvey J. Pope, in honor of our 5 great-grandchildren. Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth S. Masden, in honor of Carter Matthew Willis. And these are $100 donations, non-designated. Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth S. Never mind, I just read that one. Martha, these bifocals. Now they're trifocals. You don't know about that yet, do you?
No, sir. I've been lucky enough.
Yeah, well, yeah. It will. Hang on. Martha and Gregory Associates, Taylor Springs Business Park, Thomas G. Edlin, Mr. and Mrs. Jerry A. Rand, Elis S. Frey, Philip W. Ray, Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth L. Norwood, Philip Armbruster, Steve M. Stoll, Mr. and Mrs. Raymond L. Kuhn Jr., Mr. and Mrs. Herman A. Bays, Betty G. Robinson, Marjorie W. Hanks, Gerald G. Hubbs, Lawrence A. Herring Jr., Mr. and Mrs. Ollie R. Moore Sr., Diane M. Hutcherson, Mr. and Mrs. Dennis Dymar Jr., Mr. and Mrs. D. L. Radcliffe Sr., Doctors Terry and Nancy Singer, Linda B. Trotwine, Carl A. Elbert, Mr. and Mrs. Francis K. Bevan, Mr. and Mrs. Ernie L. New, Cheryl G. Rushman, Cecil B. Copert, Janice M. Ziegler, Mr. and Mrs. William V. Waldridge, Susan A. Schweitzer, Louis A. Davidson, Mr. and Mrs. Robbie W. Schmidt, Bridget M. Reed, Sharks, Fish, and Chicken, Mr. and Mrs. Paul F. Visman, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph A. Walsh, Deborah Dunn, Jean Schuler, John P. Singler, Mr. and Mrs. Richard M. Townsend, Mr. and Mrs. Mark Crabtree, Miss Sherry Hyman, David Mazzoni, Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence H. Robbins Jr., Robert L. Lance, and Miss Sherry L. Kane. Am I being upstaged again?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, well, let's move on.
She's twirling like a ballerina now.
That's wonderful. Mr. and Mrs. Harry Kuntz, Janice Handley, Tom L. Klein, Carol A. Beringer, Callahan Company, Robert and Marjorie Graves, Patricia and Gary Beverly, Roy Huber, Jeffrey and Susan Roby, Mr. and Mrs. William Frank, Mr. and Mrs. Eugene Metzner, Nancy M. Girding, Mr. and Mrs. Isaac J. Nunja, Four Seasons Apartments, Mr. and Mrs. Gregory J. Pearl, Linda M. Tiller, Mr. and Mrs. Donald J. Bowling, Robert Crick. Do you know what the chief gave me the longer list?
I see that.
Yeah, hot. He said you're full of hot. Robert Crick.
Not hot pockets.
Michael and Lisa Mattingly, Steve and Deborah Wilkerson, F.E. Nall, Rebecca Mosier, Bruce and Annie McCord, John and Patricia No, Donna and Bruce Bond, John and Judy Shackleton, Lynn Cole, William and Julia Zachary, King Second Step Shoes and Repairs, Karen Dunaway, Doris Anderson, Clarence Zernheld, Edward and Margaret Middleton, Doris Anderson, Thomas and Donna Michael, Donna and Donald Pope, Tom and Jody Emmington, David and Margaret Hatcher, Humana Foundation, Valerie Desmond, Milton and Dora Lawson, Sandria Percival, G.R. Diskins, Brad and Linda Nasir, and Ladies Auxiliary Elk Lodge number 8. That takes care of the $100 donations. Then to the $80 to $85 donations, Karen E. Benz, Martha C. Powell. $75 donations in memory of John and Donna Johnson, in memory of Carl Rentz, Don Moser, and Claudia House. Eddie, Debbie, and Cindy Kinney, in memory of Ida Jo Cardwell. And these are non-designated $75 donations. A.B. Phelps, Gail Brown, Mr. and Mrs. Edward H. Ritter, Donna and Gary Prater, Jeffrey and Nancy Wright, Edward and Linda Shrewsbury. $70 donations, Ruth P. Spears, Shirley Daly. Donations between $50 and $65, Nina Strange, Randall Glover, Mr. Robert M. Pilkington, in honor of 64 years. Imogene Fishburne, Darlene C. Jackson, Patricia A. Jones, Ellen Ray, Mr. and Mrs. Drew L. McKinney, Mr. John B. Pope, Robert and Madeline Brinzel. And these are special mentions in honor of and less than $50. Miss Nancy L. Roughton, in honor of my brother William Gary Mattingly, a Corsair kid. Larry and Dodie Searcy, in honor of our two sons, Austin and Hunter Searcy. Mr. Joseph R. Smith, in honor of Laura Faye Smith. And these are donations in memory of, with less than $50. Harlan and Ann Burkmeyer in memory of Eleanor Hancock. Lillian Kitterwire in memory of Eleanor Hancock. Barbara Rushmanson in memory of Ida Jo Caldwell. Charlotte Cardwell in memory of Ida Jo Cardwell. Kathleen Powell in memory of Ida Jo Cardwell. This is John Tully in memory of Jack and Molly Tully. John P. Emley in memory of Joseph Lenny Johnson Jr. Colette Cardwell in memory of Joseph L. Lenny Johnson Jr. Colette Cardwell in memory of Joseph L. Johnson Jr. and Helena Mink in memory of Larry Spitzer. Ronald L. Knopp in memory of Fulton Bud Brooks. Mr. and Mrs. Bob Bolton in memory of Jim Walsh. Mr. and Mrs. Greg Elder Camp in memory of A.C. Denham. Mr. and Mrs. James T. Williams in memory of Jacob Ryan Williams and Jules Salzman. Mrs. Linda M. Richard in memory of Verna Cash, Vernon and Irene Richards. Robert and Terry Frizzle in memory of our baby Maddie Frizzle. Nancy and Joseph Petito in memory of Tony Hattenmeyer. Gail and William Sherman in memory of Joseph Johnson. George and Patricia Reeser in memory of Christopher. Arnold and Margaret Kuchenbrod in memory of Joseph Johnson. Linda J. Forbes in memory of Bud Brooks. Paul Hines in memory of Jerry Hines. Mr. and Mrs. William H. Stouffer in memory of Mr. and Mrs. Archie Hall. Miss Harriet A. Miller in memory of Pat Miller. David and Nancy Frederick Sr. in memory of Eleanor Hancock. Jane P. Smith in memory of Joseph Newts Caldwell. And Janet E. Woodall in memory of Clark Allen Newman.
Nice job, Chaplain.
Good job, Wayne. Glad I gave you the longer list of the two. You know what I think is neat about the Crusade Terriers? You look at all the little kids and we've been entertained, but that's really what makes it special, is all the generations that, look at all the kids that are around, they're going to be the ones who are out there collecting the future. So
right, I know all these different generations of families that I've seen over my 32 years here. We keep passing the message on, and it sticks.
I think that's what's going to make the Crusade strong for long past we're gone. So I think
right, you are, Chief.
Okay, we had a few events through the year to support our annual kind of 2-week push. One of our most successful ones was Breakfast with Santa. We doubled our money this year. Last year we made about $600 or $700. This year was about $1,200. So that's great. We raffled off a few items this year also that we made about $1,000 off of, and I just wanted to announce the winners real quick. We had a U of L fire helmet that was it's a white helmet with red Maker's Mark type wax on it. Jerry Shoemate won that. The UK fire helmet, the winner was Michael Greenwell, and the concrete firefighter statue was John Fanton. So if any of you guys, we'll be calling you, we've got your numbers, and so we'll be in touch. And before
Mike Greenwell's just down the hall here.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we'll have to get with him a little bit later and make sure we get it to him. Before I mention the total, I say this every year, and I do mean it. I hope we didn't miss your name or memorial. It is a monumental effort to record all these, and so we try our hardest. So we apologize if we mispronounced a name or left something off. And also, before I do our total, there are 3 people I'd like to remember this year. One, I mentioned retired Chief Joseph Johnson. We dedicated last year in his honor. He was still with us. He lost his battle with cancer in September. He helped us with he was with McMahon for over 30 years, and he helped with the Crusade every year. So we want to recognize him. We also want to recognize retired Captain Rick Gossman. He is currently battling cancer, and this was the first year out of 30 that he wasn't able to help us. So wanted to recognize him. And then also, of course, and I know you've heard the name many times today, Major Kevin Baines with Highview Fire, who lost his battle with cancer as well. So we want to kind of dedicate our total this year to all those folks. Now I'd like to present, on behalf of all of our members, their families, and all of our supporting members in the community. This always gets so emotional. I don't know why. All the guys
it should be emotional. This is people pouring their blood, sweat, and tears, and their hurts and their happiness all into a great total to help other people. And your number is impressive, bro.
And we're up this year. We're up about 8%, which is really huge. So this year, The McMahon Fire District is proud to present the 64th Annual Crusade for Children, a total of $143,059.80.
Way to go, Chief Walsh. From McMahon Volunteer Fire Department, $143,059.80. You kids want to pour? Your grandchild is hilarious, by the way.
She is. She's a natural.
She's set for a comedy career, I can tell you what. Thank you all so much. We appreciate it. All that hard work out of McMahon, Chief Walsh, appreciate it. Chaplain Bishop, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it. There's Rachel Platt.
Nice total, Terry Miners over there with McMahon. Thank you guys so much. Now we've got Anchorage Fire and EMS. Mr. Doyle with me. We're going to get to why my colleagues are behind me. These are the fire truck groupies. That's what they are. I know it. I'll tell you what. No, I love the fact that they have had so much fun on these fire trucks today. They've loved it.
Well, they've been a real shot in the arm to all the firefighters that have been out there and getting out and socializing with them. They've just been awesome.
No, we're going to talk about that. It's the first fire truck ride for many, and we have a very special guest.
Peter Kerpenstein. Peter's one of our folks from over at Anchorage and collects with us, has been collecting with us for about 10 years, and he just wants to say hello and say hi to a couple of people.
All right, who would you like to thank or say hi to, Peter?
I just want to say thank you to 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Platoon with Anchorage. You guys are amazing to our family. Thank you all very much.
And I know very heartfelt. And tell me your name over here.
Amanda.
Okay, and you're with Peter,
I'm
right?
Peter CLS worker.
Very good. And he's given you a shout out too. So tell us a little bit about the total. Now this is a small group.
Yeah, there's about 700 families actually in the Anchorage area, and of course they have 6-man shifts, and 4 of those guys are running pretty much 24 hours a day, so they're kind of limited in their collections and all, but they really get out and bust it when they have the opportunity to do it. So it's just absolutely, they put their effort into it whenever they have the free moment, but they stay very active. They make over 5,000 runs a year out of that one station in Anchorage between EMS and fire.
Now, did you have people you wanted to thank?
Yeah, real quickly. We got a $30 check from Annette Smith in memory of Frank, Sally, Ron Algar, and Rhonda Gordon. We've got $10 from Victoria Smith in memory of Ron Algar. She loves you and misses you. We have a $100 check from Deborah Minter, just no in memory of, just a $100 donation. And we have $100 from Virginia and Dr. Homer Holt in honor of Peter.
Very good, Peter. Turn around, Peter, so we can get, there you go. We want to see your face.
Yeah, so Dr. Holt and all them sent in $100 just in congratulations and in honor for all your efforts in collecting with the Crusade.
Nice.
And we have another friend, Dustin Gast. Dustin came to the Crusade first when he was 4. He's a Crusade baby. He's at Norton Children's Hospital in the ICU. He didn't get to make it down here this year. He's really having a tough battle and a tough time. And Dustin, we just want to let you know that we're really thinking of you here, buddy. Please get well real soon.
Very good.
So, and then...
Now, did you want to give a total, or we want to give a shout out to my colleagues?
Well, why don't we give a shout out
All right,
real
let's
quick?
do
and then
that.
we'll do
Well,
the total.
we've got Heather, Sarah, and of course we've got Shay, and we've got CJ, who works on our website. And we want to say you all have had more fun. First of all, how many hours are you going on, Crazy Woman?
Let's see, I got here at 10:30 last night.
Last night.
So what is that, 12, 18 plus hours? Yeah, math is too hard for me right now. That's how many hours it's been.
Well, you all have had so much fun, because how many fire truck rides have you gotten today?
5 fire truck rides, Rachel.
I mean, these are crazy people here. How about you?
Just one, but I loved it. I'm addicted.
Was it your first one?
It was my first one.
You were saying the Crusade's so much fun. She's like a kid in a candy store. So are you.
Yes, 2, and they were amazing, and everyone needs to go ride one. It is so much fun.
And CJ, this is your first one?
My very first one in my life.
I can't believe that. How was it?
Oh, I enjoyed it. You all do an awesome job.
I know. Do we have a shout out to your driver?
Jeremy!
I told you. Where's Jeremy, for heaven's sake?
He made that right turn with grace.
Oh, he didn't run us into any trees?
They're believers. They're believers. Jeremy, you rock, is all we could say.
Well, all we can say from the fire department standpoint is thank you to everybody at HAS that makes this work. They see you all on air. They don't have any idea what goes on behind the scenes, so thank you all for all your efforts.
They have been fun. You guys have been so much fun
You all
with
been
this.
great. You all been great. So, Peter, for the residents of Anchorage, what is our total?
$5,551.
Way to go, Peter. Way to go. I think there's time for one more ride.
We'll make it happen.
All right, thanks, guys. We appreciate it. All right, we want to send it now to Robert Bradfield in Corydon.
I'm being joined now by quite the gang here, the Lafayette Township, right, Fire Department here. You're the chief, I've been told, the person in charge. Your name for me?
Jeremy Klein.
Jeremy Klein, and I'm sure you have a message out there to all of those who donated this year.
Yeah, first off, I'd like to thank the community for all their support. We do about a 5-day blitz for Crusade. We do some miscellaneous fundraisers throughout the year, different events we help with. But I know sometimes people get frustrated when you're doing a roadblock or door-to-door. But I want to thank all the community for their support and the donations that they gave. Second off, I want to thank the members, all of our members, their family, their friends. Without them bringing everybody down, we wouldn't be able to generate the amount of money that we usually generate. A lot of work and effort goes into it, and I know sometimes you have those days where you get up and you really don't want to get up and go, but they pull through every year. And then I want to thank the support from all the businesses, whether they donated gift cards or food donations to go towards Crusade. Without their donations, we got a lot of people to feed on a daily basis during those 5 days, so I want to thank all them. Next up, we got Stephen Beck, one of the people from our area. He's been collecting for 49 years. He didn't want to change his sign this year, but he's been collecting for 49 years. It's the biggest year he's had, and I'm going to turn to Sandy to let her read a list off for him.
I saw the total there, but we're not going to give that away yet.
No.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you in a little bit then.
Yeah.
Okay, and you said Sandy.
Yes.
And introduce family here.
This is my Uncle Steve, my mom, my son Brett, and then Julia and my little Blakely back there. So.
Very good. And you have a list here as well.
I do, absolutely. I wanted to start off, again, Uncle Steve had turned 60 on December 4th of last year. So he wanted to take $60 of his birthday money and donate it in memory to his mom and dad, because he's been doing this for as long as I can remember.
The sign says 48, but it is 49.
It really is 49. We just got a little lazy this year.
Well, next year you got to change both of the numbers.
Oh, I know. I'm excited, and I look forward to doing this every year, as does he. He will start collecting when we leave today for next year.
Smiling right now.
He will. So, again, Uncle Steve donated $60 of his birthday money in memory of his mom and dad. Barbara Hanka and Darren Striegel donated $1,000 in memory of Buddy Striegel. Ruth Beck, $200 in memory of Aloysius and Mary Helen Beck. Harold and Raymond Sarles, and Rita and Angela Beck. Georgie, Darren, and Dana Striegel, $100 in memory of Buddy Striegel. Virginia Gullett, $100 in memory of Larry Gullett. Nina and Johnny Schmidt, $25 in memory of Julie Greer. Mike and Carmel McCulley, $300 in memory of Carol Butler, George Butler, and Paul McCulley. Juanita McCulley, $100 in memory of Paul McCulley, Richard and Hilda Beck, and Sylvia Booth. Evelyn Heilig, $100 in memory of David Heilig. Mary Ann Crewer, $10. Connie and Mickey Beck, $15. Janet Schuler, $100. Paul and Martha Missy, $125 in memory of the Atkins, Beck, Hatfield, and Missy family. I'm donating, and my family donating $25 in memory of my dad, David Heilig. Pinnock Painting Contractors donated $125, and we have parties throughout the year. We have a derby party, Halloween party, and we collect at each one of those. So he collected $1,260.50 at our derby party, $170 from our Halloween party. This is the most that he's ever collected, so he's got a total this year of $38,1550.
And is that included in this total as well?
It is.
It is. Okay, I'm not going to give away the total yet, but a message out there too to this community.
This is a great thing to do. Donate, donate, donate.
Very good, and we appreciate the time as well. $60 from Uncle Steve.
Yes, yes, very proud of it.
Very good. Thank you. And you're next in line.
I'm going to read off the local businesses that donated food.
We're going to start off with Terry Wagner at State Farm, Spaghetti Shop, Mark's Feed Store, Subway at Georgetown, Elna Paul at State Street, Bean Street, Doc Seafood, Barano's, Clark Snack, Karam's Meat, Retailer Supply, Sean's Barbecue, B3Q, Carr Barbecue, Joe Huber Family Farm and Restaurant, Save a Step at Paoli Pike, Topped Pizza, Krispy Kreme, Adrian and Company, Starbucks, Bob Evans, Burger King, Papa John's, KFC at Sellersburg, Chick-fil-A, Terry Lynn's Catering, Wendy's, Azalea Hills, Beef O'Brady's at Highlander Point, Lee's Famous Recipe, Sam's, Huber's Winery, Arby's, Honey Baked Ham, Subway on Grantline Road, Rallies, and Chimp's Confectionery.
They kept you full.
Yes.
In your name again?
Caitlin Klein.
Caitlin Klein. And you're next in line. Nice to meet you. Thank you, John. Go ahead.
We're going to do the In Memories Of, and I'm going to do my absolute best not to mispronounce any of these. We're going to start out with the Harvest Homecoming Crusader Award, which was $800. We're going to do our $25 donations. We got in memory of Doug Bierman, Linda and Cletus Day in memory of Nettie Miller, Steve and Mary Miller in memory of Sean McGill and Janice Bauer, Jeff Reed in memory of Jerry Reed, Patricia Stone in memory of Nelson Stone, Tina Zerb in memory of Carolyn Barton, which was a $30 donation. We're going to move up to our $50 donations, which is Hayes Living Trust of $50, Roger and Glenda Hope in memory of Glenn and Bonnie Barnett, Herman and Doris Beekler in memory of John and Jeremy Nungester, Marianne and Terry Herthel in memory of Ray and Joyce Herthel, Brittany Blay in memory of Rita Oots, AJ and SR Shirley in memory of Cindy Shirley, John and Sheila Lazone in support of Kenneth Lawson, $64. Our $100 donations are going to be Joe and Donna Borsing in memory of Paul Davis, Samuel and Candace Hatfield in memory of Ryan Hatfield, Martha Fessel and Mary Andrus in memory of Herod Fessel, Sherry and Clayton Knotts in memory of Rex and Doris Kelly, Phyllis Andrus in memory of Wilford and Geneva Andrus and Larry Foreman, Wayne and Kelly and Irene Hammer in memory of Barney Hammer, Catherine and Ronald Dowdle in memory of Jamie Book, Timothy and Barbara Freiberger in memory of Mike Freiberger, Cheryl Elder in memory of Barney Hammer, Dr. William and Dolores Mishler in memory of Dr. Boyd Sanders, Mark and Jennifer Huth in memory of Dora LeDuc, Stephen and Alice Volpert, thanking the Lafayette firefighters, $100 donation. In memory of Mary and Charles Kohler, $100 donation. Bernetta Stillman in memory of Jim Stillman. Sylvia and Bruce Efsledge in memory of Anita Efsledge. In memory of Milton Metz, a $200 donation. Anthony and Bonnie Kruer in memory of Casey and Marie Kruer, $200 donation. Advent Christian Church, $226. Donald and Rose Williams in memory of Catherine Hadley, $250. Lamb's Lawn Service, $300 donation. Mildred and Kenneth Fritz in memory of Ella and Oscar and Joe Fritz, $300 donation. Sharon and David Koppler, $500 donation in honor of all 13 grandchildren. Christina and Richard Blakeman in memory of Bob Libbs, $500. Floyd Knox Christian Church, $685.
Now, are we ready for the grand total?
Yeah, I want to say just a few more words. Joe Huber Family Farm and Restaurant, they help us out tremendously. They have different events throughout the year that go to support the Crusade for Children. And I would like to thank everybody that goes there and supports those events. They do have a memorial concert coming up here. Check their event calendar. That goes to support Crusade for Children. We're down just a little bit this year. However, I'm really proud of what we're going to turn in because it's amazing the amount of money that we can generate in a little bitty town of Floyd's Knobs, Indiana. This year, our grand total is $100,400.60.
You just said two. As we have the applause, hopefully they can hear us back there. But you said a small town, but really big hearts.
Small town, big hearts, great community. They understand well what the WHAS Crusade for Children does for this community.
Give us that total one more time.
$100,400.60.
That makes you proud.
That makes me very proud.
Very good. Thank you, everybody, for your donations. And we're going to pour the money now in here if we can do so. Again, more than $100,000 from this department here as well. And Jeremy, do you work for the fire department here too? Come on in here. He's been our sort of our right-hand man. Has been holding up this sign here. You can see still ways to donate. They can read that, 1-866-885-1848. You can also send your donations, 520 West Chestnut there in Louisville, Kentucky, 40202. Your group here, though, I'm sure that makes you proud.
Absolutely. These guys are amazing. This whole children is a group effort all the way around. I couldn't be more proud of this department.
Very good. Well, thank you for your time here as well. It is rather warm out here, but again, this gang really sticking tight in order to announce their donations. And again, this is the Lafayette Township Fire Department here for the WHAS Crusade for Children. We'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Robert. We're racing toward the end of the Crusade. The NBA game's coming up later, so Lucy Kirkpatrick's in from Camp Taylor. Hi, Lucy.
Hi, how are you?
Who are we thanking?
Okay, first of all, we'd like to thank the Seneca High School Junior ROTC, St. Stephen Martyrs, Boy Scouts, all the firefighters, their family and friends that helped us collect this year. So we're going to get right to the in memory of Phyllis Spears in memory of Joey Spears, $25. Jody Floyd in memory of Donnie Floyd, $50. Karen and Ronnie Moore in memory of Daniel G. Milburn, $50. Irene Stump in memory of Kenneth Earl Stump, Frank Holbrook, Alan Porter Sr., Ed Hatfield, $60. Ed Seeger in memory of Ray Seeger, Marion Quisenberry, $100. Kevin and Mary Jane Redmond in memory of Celestine Ray, $100. Doggy Details Mobile Pet Grooming in memory of Officer Nick Rodman, $100. Friends at Seneca High School in memory of Luden Pope, $117. Richard and Margaret Casper in memory of Sarah Casper, Magdalene Scharfenberger, Jean Slusher, Hubert Slusher, $150. Anthony and Denise Keith in memory of Joyce Keith, Jean Widman, Janet Ritchie, Damon Keith, $200. Air Company HVAC in memory of Sergeant Leroy Vaz, $50 or $500. Sorry, Robert Schwartz in memory of Marcella Schwartz by Rob, Sharon, Patrick, Karen Schwartz, $500. Anonymous donation of $400 in memory of Robert Fox, Alexa Fox, and Eleanor Bowman. We're going to start with the donations of $50. Robert and Karen Frank, Russ Cannon, Joanne Clifford, Kathy Glass, Joanne Dempster and Kennelie DeWitt, Kevin and Sarah Bryan, Keitha Brassler, Nancy Dieters and Laura Jones, Wayne and Patricia Simons, Todd and Cheryl Corpage, Paul and Ella Wilson, Lonnie and Jane Garman, Linda Shelburne, Gerald and Martha Hasty, John and Teresa Campbell, Ernest and Charlotte Sanders, Lucille Kirkpatrick, Ann and Corey Smith, Laquita Lee. These are $100 donations. Virginia Donhire, Nancy Cochran, Cynthia and Michael Kuhn, Christy Wheatley, Connie Woods, Mary Bemker, Matthew and Tammy Allgard, Dream Properties, Jonathan and Stacy Leachman, Mark Franklin, Patrick and Robert McElhone, Beverly Jean and Jack Owens, Don Long, Troy Gravis, Barry and Chevy Baker, James and Martha Hartman, Patricia Gospo, Robert and Caroline Armstrong, Louis Body Shop, CET Home Solutions, Glenda Wilson, Catherine Muth, Janet Gable and Donna Freeman, Gregory Kirkpatrick, LT Trucking Company, Robert and Dara Newton, Michael Lane, Jack and Ethel Glass, $120. Richard and Janice Philly, Judith Basham, $150. Janet Gable, Gary and Victoria Peters, $200. Brendan Thomas Hartman, Patricia Courtney, Wilford Elise and Diana Widman, Kemba Louisville Credit Union, IMI, Usselton Printing and Fabrication, Kentucky Computers Incorporated, $250. Todd and Tammy Boudiet, Vidito Refrigeration, Cook's Locksmith, $400. Ronald and Susan Blakely, $500. Brian and Marcy Curl, Sands Auto Collision Center, New Horizons Office Interiors, $800. Sarah Dobson, $1,000 Swiss Charity Society care of George Kamer and Barnes Auto Service, $5,000 donation from Todd and Linda Brunn.
Fantastic. Good work, Lucy.
Tell me quick.
Deputy Chief, and you're donating your total to?
We're donating our total to the Highview Fire Department in memory of Major Kevin Baines. So the total is $52,721.
Way to go, Camp Taylor! Camp Taylor Fire Department, $52,721.56. You can dump it there, guys. Thanks so much, Lucy. Good read on that. Let's jump over to Rachel Platt.
All right, Terry Miners, thank you so much. We are with the Lexington Volunteer Fire Department. That's right near Scottsburg, Indiana. Courtney's with me, and you're back. And we're glad you're back with us at the Crusade.
That we are. Thank you for having us.
All right, tell me a little bit about the donations, because we're going to get right to it, because we're counting down to the end of the show, so thank you.
That's right. We have a couple of in memories from Louis Thiemann for Gavin Thiemann, born December 4th, 2010, passed away December 22nd, 2010. From Robert and Brenda Bright, in memory of Leo and Louise Coombs, Grant and Anus Bright. From Gerald Coombs, in memory of Leo and Louise Coombs, $100.
And then you have some donations as well?
Yes, we do. I'd like to give a big shout out to Leroy's Grocery Store. We have a $200 donation from them. They also support us all through the year.
You said they do a lot for you all.
That they do.
Yeah.
Lawrence and Linda Parks, $100. Juanita and Jerry Hobbs, $50. Carolyn and Bob Nolan, $50. Wilma Hardin House, $25. Sorry.
No, you're doing well. You only have a few more there.
And the donation in memory of Gavin was for $600 total.
Okay, terrific. And tell me who you brought with you today.
So I've got my
Jennifer and Serenity.
Jennifer and Serenity.
Those are your daughters.
That is.
And you got your mama?
I got my mom and Brian.
Hi, Brian. And you said Brian's a crucial helper for you all.
He does help us a lot.
All right, very good. Are you all ready? And Serenity?
Serenity.
Serenity is having a birthday today. Happy birthday, Serenity. How old are you?
Tell me you're 30.
Happy birthday. Okay, for the 64th Annual Crusade for Children, the total from the Lexington Volunteer Fire Department?
$2,576.50.
And thank you for coming back. Jennifer, you want to dump in that money right there?
Take the hat and dump it in there.
All right, there
Dump
you
it
go,
in there,
girls.
baby.
All right. Terry, over to you, Bubba.
Greg Hammonds is with me from Jennings Township. Good to see you again, Greg.
Good to be here.
I knew there was a basketball game, so you're going to jump right in it.
Yeah. Real quick, we're up a little bit this year from last year. We had a pancake breakfast, a couple of fish fries, and an auction. We need to give Dave Gray and appraisals and auctions a special thanks for help with the auction that he had with us, and Joyce Everso for lining up all of our food that we ate this weekend. We have a big group that likes to eat a lot.
That's good.
That's very good. Have a few donations here I'd like to read. $10 in memory of Leslie and Ruby Marshall. $30 from James Ratliff in memory of his parents and his sister. $30 from James and Joyce Bush. $30 from Sandra Bolin in honor of Linda Sue Lawson. $40 from Keith and Janie Alexander. $50 from Linda Sue Lawson in memory of her parents Carl and Lula Lawson and her brother Maxie Lawson. $50 in memory of Clyde Combs. $50 from Roland Campbell in memory of Ada Campbell. $50 from the Carousel Inn Bed and Breakfast. $50 from Marty's House of Flowers. $50 from Joseph Lucas. $50 from the Church of the New Covenant. $100 from Gardner Land Surveyors. $100 from the Free Pentecostal Church of God. $100 in memory of Jesse and Shirley Toole in honor of all the fallen veterans, fire, and police. $100 from Jason and Tiffany Campbell in memory of their daughter, Kinsley Grace Campbell. $100 from Melissa and Michael Payne. $108 from the Austin Christian Sunday School. $115 in honor of Linda Sue Lawson from her sisters, Wendy, Merlin, and Margaret, and her nieces, Tammy and Lisa. $125 from the Scaffoldic Baptist Church. $150 from the Bagwell family. $150 from Salyers Graphics and Apparel. $200 from Harry D. Carter and Susan A. Carter. $200 from David and Carol Deaton. $250 from the Austin First Baptist Church. and a $250 donation from Gail and David Burr in honor and memory of their fathers who both passed away within the last year. Gail's dad, Carl Campbell, passed away on August 27th, and David's dad passed away on February 24th. They will be greatly missed by both friends and family. For 2017, I'm glad to announce that we set an all-time record for our department.
Way to go!
We're up 35%, and our grand total is $15,560.
Way to go, Greg Hammonds. Jennings Township, $15,569.75, up 35%. Outstanding job. Thanks to everyone there. And let's jump over here to, you're coming to me too. Okay, good. What's up, Mike? I knew Mike was going to come rolling. Thank you, Greg. We appreciate you guys. Great upgrade. Thank you. Good to see everybody. Hey, what's up, Chief? Nice to see you. Glad to have you here, bud.
We're glad to be here.
All righty.
Rolling in at the last minute.
Everybody's squared up in here. All right, Fern Creek is in the house here. Always good to see them. We're just going to start talking. Chief,
all
who's
right,
up
Terry,
first?
I'm coming over to
Captain
you.
Eric Brown.
What's up, Eric?
How you doing?
Glad to have you here. We know you guys worked hard. I can see the sun on you.
That's right, tan line.
Tell me your story, bro.
All right, I got some in memory of. It's $25 in memory of Major Kevin Baines from Highview, from Brian and Melissa Leonard. $50 in memory of Captain Eric Hampton from John and Sandra Walsh. $100 in memory of Captain Eric Hampton and Evelyn Wilson from Michael and Christine Wilson. $100 in memory of Master Sergeant Jeremy Woodruff from United States Marine Corps from Danielle and Eric Brown. $100 in memory of Captain Eric Hampton from Ethan Hampton. $100 in memory of Chief Mike Schmidt Sr. from Barbara Schmidt. $200 in memory of Major Malcolm Jenkins and Alice Schaefer from Dorothy and James Jury. $500 in memory of their daughter Vicki Epley Harris from Richard and Cheryl Epley. $1,000 in memory of Carol and Ken Froge and Bill Quigley from Kim Javins. $1,200 in memory of her parents Reverend Richard and Elizabeth Byrne and her brother Richard Byrne. Reverend Byrne was the first Fern Creek Fire Chief from Martha Byrne. We'll turn it over to Major Mulvey.
Hey, Major, welcome,
Come on
buddy.
up.
Good to see you, as always.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you? All right, well, I'll do a couple hundreds and then we'll move up. I've got an honor of Caden Taylor, $100 from Aunt Pat. In honor of Mom Joanne Driver, Mary and Jesse Kennedy. In honor of Ryan Lovall from Mary Metcalf. In honor of Fern Creek's Explorer Post 710 from back in the day, Brian Bierman. Granddaughters Peyton and Willow Newman from Craig and Robin Newman. $250 in honor of 5 healthy grandchildren from David and Anna Mulvey. We've got $1,000 in honor of Kristen Webb from Joe and Dorothy brothers. We've got a total of $2,100 in memory of for Malcolm Jenkins, our former training officer who passed away in line of duty a couple years ago. And that's from Andrea Bailey, some miscellaneous donors, his mother Thelma Jenkins, Janice Sampson, a $1,000 anonymous donation for Malcolm, and a $200 donation from Gene Sampson. And then a total of $1,725 in memory of our former Chief Glenn Vogedes, who passed away this year. And that would be from Tyrone and Charlotte Young, a $1,000 anonymous donation as well there. $135 from John and Lynn Kuchenbrod, and a $490 miscellaneous donor. And then we'll give it back to Chief.
All right, very
Major.
good.
Mike Schmidt's the Chief of Fern Creek. Always a great friend here near the end of the Crusade for Children. All right, Chief.
All right, well, we first of all, we want to thank all our food sponsors. It's been a long week, and we had plenty of food to eat, keep our people nourished. We got a lot of people that are men and women that are behind the scenes that cook the food, get it out to us, make sure we got everything. So we want to make sure and thank them. And then foremost, we want to thank all the people of Fern Creek that come through the roadblock and put up with us all week and happily put their money in the bucket.
They do. Fern Creek rocks it every year.
Absolutely. And this year is no different. So, are you ready for the total?
We are not even sneaking a peek. Is this is this a pretty fat total you're going to give us?
Well, we always do pretty well. We're right there at the top.
All right, for the 64th WHAS Crusade for Children, from everybody in the creek, in Fern Creek, the total is...
All right, our donation is in honor of former fire chief Glenn Vogedes, who unexpectedly passed away this year, and our total is $126,534.23.
$126,534.23 from Fern Creek. Way to go.
Okay, we're counting down to the NBA game. We've got 3 minutes. We want to make sure everybody's in the house here. We're looking for Dawn Lee. We're going to get her in. Come on, everybody.
Good to have all of you.
Come on, Dawn. Come in here in the middle with us.
This Crusade is a miracle every year because so many people are part of our team. You're just going to see some of them come in here. I don't know if the Jennings Township people are still here, but you've seen people drift through. Camp Taylor was just here.
Come on in, everybody.
If Camp Taylor's still in the house, push him back in here, too.
Because, Don, this is like family. We got to have everybody in here.
It is, exactly. And, you know, there's so many exciting stories. Don Moore just made a donation, and it was because he went to Papa John's to get his pizza and forgot his wallet. So they weren't going to give him his pizza. A PRP firefighter named Todd paid for his pizza, so he wanted to call and make a $100 donation.
He paid it forward.
Paid it forward.
I love that story.
Isn't
And that's
that
what
awesome?
this is how it happens.
That's
right?
how it happens.
So many volunteers, though, help in all capacities all throughout this whole service area of the Crusade for Children throughout Indiana and Kentucky. And they do things all throughout the year that culminates into the total we're about to read in a few minutes. I think we still have a few minutes till we
have like 2 minutes.
Till we read.
All right.
But
And all these volunteers here are amazing to me. They come back year after year.
that's our security team over there. Look at our security team.
And you know, we fed 3,000 people in this building today. And so that's how many people it took to make today happen.
That was good barbecue.
That's good stuff.
Pee Wee Valley.
I think I counted for 4 of those meals myself. That's the way that goes. If you go down there, you can't quit it.
And we hear these totals with people coming in. Some vested, you know, and I was listening to, you know, the archdiocese and fire departments through the years who've donated $8 million through the years. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
And that to me is what I love about this community is they continue to come together and do something really, really good for kids who have special needs. And you can see the impact right here in our community.
It's wonderful. It
All right,
really is.
did Heather Fontaine last through the whole?
No,
she did go to sleep.
She was on 20 hours.
20
We
hours.
forgive
She
her.
showed up for work at 10:30 last
But we've
night.
got
Said
many
she was gonna
members
make
of the
7.
staff over here,
There you
right
go.
over
There's
here.
Shay McAllister over there. Sarah Wagner's over there too.
And members of the Crusade,
Joe
of
Go,
course.
our Crusade team
There
are
he
over
is,
here.
Mr. John. And your family right with you?
The
Very good.
Bowmans, the Mymans, all the other families that put this crusade together. Look at those happy faces.
Well, and Kathleen Blim is here as well, and she did an awesome Snapchat thing for the Crusade this year. She's been working
Shout
for us
out
this
to
week.
her. She's been working hard. She's right
So
there.
thanks to all of you.
Are we
Thanks
ready for
to
the
all
total?
of you. This is very exciting. We love getting to do this together so we can all chant the total together when it pops up on the board. Can everybody shout it out loud when we reveal the numbers here? Are you ready?
Are we ready?
For the 64th WHAS Crusade for Children, our total so far is
$5,463,292.77.
Come on!
That is amazing. You were on TV.
Good stuff. Way to go, everybody. Again, every one of those dollars is a miracle and an offering from people that give their heart and soul and pour it out every year. Everybody's got a story that touches them, connects them to the Crusade for Children. So we appreciate whatever you've done to help us in any capacity, whether it's donating or giving us service time. It's greatly appreciated. This is what makes our community so wonderful every year.
Yeah, you know, we've talked about tough times that have been in our community lately, but I think this is really a galvanizing force when it comes to the Crusade with really community and bringing everybody together.
Absolutely, and we could not do it without Terry and Rachel. We are so fortunate. So
We feel, hey, thank you for asking us back.
Now we have to sing God Bless It, the traditional close. Traditional close of the Crusade.
All right, everybody, we ready?
Mike Schmidt could do this. He can take my job. He can do it. What's up, Chief? Who's ready to sing?
All right, here we go.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with flow. God bless America, Rachel Platt put that on a lower key.
Oh, I did terribly with that. I never professed to be
Rachel
a
Platt
singer.
launched that on a lower key. So that's what
If you notice,
so
I
if you
lowered
have
the
this,
mic.
if you kids in the control booth later put this online, please speed it up a little bit.
Do
so
something.
it sounds like it's
Hey, we're great at raising money, not so good at singing. Okay? Okay?
But you know, another great thing about the Crusade, it just is what it is, and we all do the best we can.
Very exactly. How'd you lay that on me, Miners?
I heard you, and then I went off your key. It's just like
Well,
on
that
Great
was a
Day Live.
mistake.
That's the way that
She's
was.
had bronchitis.
Yeah,
She's
leave me
really
alone.
way down there.
Thank you for defending me on that.
That
I
was the
appreciate
Barry
it.
White version of God Bless America, led by Rachel Platt. Get it out of there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again, everyone. All throughout this community, you've changed so many lives. You upgrade lives. There are families that benefit from what's happened here over not only just this weekend, but the whole last year that we all kind of come back for this family meeting every time. There are people out there who are struggling, and you make their lives better with your kindness and generosity and thoughtfulness. So from our hearts to yours, thank you so much.
Absolutely. You want the final word here, Miss Dawn?
Just thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Very good.
Stand by. Well, we might as well give one more chant on this, too. The NBA is coming up here on WHAS in just a couple of minutes here. So is it going to be the Warriors? Yes. Is it going to be the Cavaliers?
I think we've got Cavs fans in the audience.
It sounds that way, too.
That's what it sounds like. Yes, very good. All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night. Stand by for the ball game. Thanks. We love you.
Happy Crusade.
Plenty of sunshine through today with seasonal